Is there anybody here? What was that? Yo. Oh. Right, so what I heard was they threw something on the ground or something like that.
Threw something, knocked something over, but it's after I said about like making themselves known.
That is beautiful. Baked beans in a haunted cave. Oh my fucking God. That was the sound.
Some camping trips leave you with great memories. Others leave you haunted for life. Camping can be peaceful, adventurous, or downright terrifying. Sometimes, the sounds in the woods aren't just the wind and the feeling of being watched. Yeah, it might be real. These are 7 disturbing camping moments that will haunt you, caught on camera and guaranteed to send chills down your spine. So, if you thought the great outdoors was all fun and relaxation, think again. Field Days, a popular YouTuber with 1.74 million subscribers, decides to take on a terrifying challenge, spending a whole night in a haunted cave. The cave has a bad reputation for being a place filled with spooky and unexplained occurrences, and Field Days is both excited and nervous to test whether the rumors are true. From the start, the atmosphere in the cave is heavy, as if something is waiting in the shadows. As he walks deeper, he can feel the silence pressing in on him. His heart races, but he keeps going forward, determined to face whatever comes his way. As the intro begins, Field Days welcomes his viewers with his usual enthusiastic tone, ready to take them on an adventure. "Yay, dogs, welcome back to another video," he says, the excitement in his voice unmistakable. However, there's a hint of tension as he mentions the challenge ahead. "I'm about to spend the night in a haunted cave," he warns, setting the tone for the terrifying journey that lies ahead.
What's going on, doggies? Welcome to a solo camping in a haunted cave video. I've just been dropped off on the side of the road, which is probably about 2 k's that way. We are steaming our way through this dry bushland in search of this haunted cave. All right, so the whole entire reason why we're doing this mission today, one of my real good mates who lives just up here, he said to me, he went to visit this cave, he walked into the cave, he reckons that there's a man-made ladder which you can climb down.
Despite trying to stay calm, Field Days can't help but feel uneasy. The cave is cold, dark, and full of strange sounds that make him feel like he's not alone. As he explores, every noise seems louder, and every shadow seems to be hiding something. Is there someone else here, he wonders, trying to shake off the eerie feeling that's slowly taking over him.
Okay, outside world, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Look at the size of it. This is just the entrance of the cave here. And then obviously it just goes back into the darkness there. Look at that. There's big cracks which just continue down by the looks of it. Haven't been down there yet, but...
Even though he's filming for his viewers, it's obvious he's starting to feel the weight of the stories he's heard about the cave. Further into the cave, Field Days comes across a small hole in the ground, leading to an even darker part of the cave. What's this hole? "Oh my God, what goes down there?" he says, sounding both curious and afraid.
What's this hole? Oh my God, what goes down there? That is hectic. Do you reckon I can get in there? Oh. All right, that's an extremely small hole, but it would fit a human body. So, one of the challenges during the night is to go down there.
The hole is narrow, barely big enough for him to crawl through, but he can't ignore it. It feels like the cave is challenging him, daring him to go deeper.
Okay, this is very interesting. So I found another hole. Now this hole, you would not be able to fit a human body. Well, I wouldn't be able to fit down that hole. It's not wide enough for my shoulders to be able to go down the very end there.
With some hesitation, he decides to crawl through, his fear battling his curiosity. I guess there's no turning back now. he mutters under his breath. As Field Days crawls through the tight hole, the darkness feels even more suffocating. The air is thick, and his hands scrape against the rough stone, adding to the feeling of being trapped.
Look at this. Oh my God. I could spend weeks exploring in here. Look at this thing. This goes right up in here. All the way around the back there.
I'm freaking out, he admits, his voice barely a whisper. The further he crawls, the more claustrophobic the space becomes.
Oh, shit. Oh, what's that? Oh. Okay. That's a abort mission. That's not for a human. Okay. Alright, so it definitely doesn't seem like I'm gonna fit down the other end of that hole. Tell you what, mate, if you were claustrophobic, you'd be having a nightmare right now. It's pretty hard to breathe. It's very humid. The air's like really thick, humid in here.
Every sound, whether it's the scrape of his clothes against the rocks or a slight movement from the shadows, sends his heart racing. Is something following me? He wonders aloud, his mind filled with all the creepy stories he's heard about the cave. After making it through the hole, Field Days finds himself in a darker, colder section of the cave. His breathing quickens as he realizes how deep he's gone. The silence is overwhelming, and it feels like the cave is alive, watching him. I don't feel alone anymore, he whispers, feeling the weight of the silence pressing down on him. The fear has settled in fully, but he pushes forward, determined to finish what he started. His viewers can hear the tension in his voice as he moves deeper into the darkness, his mind racing with the possibilities of what might be lurking just out of sight.
This is definitely something that I did not think about at all. Alright, so there is one thing that I didn't think about when I come into this little camping cave Ghostbuster mission, and it's the mosquitoes. Millions. When I say millions, I'm talking millions of mosquitoes in here. My knuckles are getting smoked, my knees, my legs, everything, every bit of exposed skin is getting punished right now. It's currently 8:36 at night. Two noises which I've heard, which completely, the second noise, I had goosebumps from my head to toes. I'm talking a sound I've never heard before in my entire life.
The tension reaches a breaking point when Field Days hears a strange sound coming from the distance, a chain rattling in the darkness. His heart stops for a moment as his eyes scan the cave, trying to make sense of the noise. Something was moving this chain 3 times in a row, he says, his voice shaking. I got no idea what it could have been. The sound feels wrong, unnatural, and his fear spikes. He looks around nervously, but there's nothing there.
That is beautiful. Baked beans in a haunted cave. Oh my f***ing God. That was the sound. That is the sound. Did you hear that? Look at my arms. I got full goosebumps. It's the chains moving when I climb down the ladder. It's a big, heavy, thick chain. Wind can't move that. Holy shit.
The bats flying around don't seem to be the cause of the noise. He starts backing away from the direction of the sound, but his feet feel glued to the spot. The fear is overwhelming, and he knows he can't leave yet. Something's out there, and he's determined to find out what.
That's not normal, dude. Well, I'm freaking out. That's that chain. That chain's moving.
As the night drags on, Field Days faces a tough decision. The fear is taking its toll, but leaving the cave would mean giving up on the challenge. I don't want to go. I don't want to leave this cave, he says, his voice full of tension. I want to stay here and do the whole night, but that noise was just scary. The idea of quitting is hard to accept, so he decides to stay.
So this is the ladder that was making the sounds. Now you're trying to tell me that this big ladder, something has to move this. So these bats are active. They're everywhere, but they're too small. I don't know. I don't want to go. I don't want to leave this cave. I want to stay here and do the whole night, but that noise was just scary. I might sit up here. I might just chill here.
If I quit now, I'm going to be pissed off at myself, he says, trying to push through the fear. His resolve strengthens, but his fear doesn't let up. The cave is testing him, and he's not about to give in.
I'm just going to lean up against that wall there, and I'm going to stay close to the entrance of the ladder, because that sound I heard before, it is... Okay, it is up around 2:30 in the morning right now. I've heard that sound again, so the only way I can describe this noise, it's between a cat hissing, and it sounds like human voice. Like, I'm not even joking, it sounds human-like. I can't even make the sound with my mouth. It's an extremely weird sound, and as soon as you hear it, you just get riddled with goosebumps. Like, I'm talking riddled.
Finally, the first light of morning breaks through, signaling the end of the night's terror. Field Days is exhausted, but he's made it through the challenge. We made it. The sun's rising, and that's it, he says, a sense of relief in his voice. The terror, the strange noises, and the feeling of being watched are finally over. He's proud of himself for pushing through, and he thanks his viewers for sticking with him through the night. That was a creepy night experience. I'm glad I did it, he says.
The morning, we have spent the whole entire night in this cave. Some of the most craziest, most busted ass sounds I've heard in my life.
Smiling despite the fear he's just faced. As he leaves the cave, the feeling of victory over his fear lingers, and he knows this adventure will stay with him for a long time. By the end of the video, Field Days has not only survived the haunted cave, but has also shared a powerful experience with his viewers. The fear and suspense from every moment of his adventure will stick with them long after the video ends, leaving them with questions about what really lurks in the darkness of haunted places. It's a thrilling journey into the unknown, and Field Days' courage to face his fears is the real highlight of the experience. Hike Slam is a channel that explores all aspects of hiking, providing helpful tips, gear advice, and thrilling trail stories. The creator of the channel, Phil, has had incredible hiking experiences over the years, including completing a thru hike of the Appalachian Trail when he was 28. He has also hiked extensively in places like the White Mountains of New Hampshire, and most recently he hiked 150 miles of the Oregon Coast Trail. Despite being experienced, Phil still encounters mysterious and sometimes eerie events during his hikes. In one particular adventure, he hikes alone into the Appalachian Trail section near his home in Virginia just before Thanksgiving. What was supposed to be a peaceful and quiet overnight hike soon turns into a strange and unnerving experience, filled with cryptic writings, dead animals, and odd happenings that leave Phil questioning whether he's being followed by someone in the woods.
Hi, Phil here from Hike Slam. Today I'm gonna hike into the woods a little bit here in Virginia and do an overnight. It's the day before Thanksgiving. It's supposed to be cold tonight, but I'm looking forward to it. This is gonna be a lot of fun. Last time I was on this section of trail, it was September, so leaves were on the trees. It was warm. Right now it's really nice. It's probably low 50s, but it'll be colder tonight, so I'll have a fire, have some food, set up my tent, and we'll see what we find. So I'm gonna get going here and yeah, find the camp spot and see if anybody's there.
The adventure begins on the day before Thanksgiving when Phil heads out for his hike. He talks about his excitement, mentioning that the weather is expected to be cold, but he's prepared. I'm looking forward to it. This can be a lot of fun, he says, eager to get started. He recalls his last time hiking in this section was back in September, with the weather being warm and the trees full of leaves. Now, in late fall, the cold air adds an eerie edge to the trail. He mentions that he'll set up a fire, have some food, and find a good camping spot. As he walks, Phil is also on the lookout to see if any other hikers are nearby. Little does he know that his night is about to take a dark turn.
So the hike's been awesome so far. I mean, I've only been out for about half hour. River behind me, really pretty day. As I was walking up, I saw some trash in the trail, and I came across this. So some Bud Light cans, plastic bat, some writing on some of this garbage.
By 3 p.m., the day starts to lose its light. Phil's journey through the woods continues, and he's getting closer to his campsite. The sun begins to dip behind the hills, and soon the forest will be shrouded in darkness. At this point, the tension starts to build. Phil is still making his way to the shelter and campsite, unaware of what awaits him there. As he approaches the site, the strange occurrences begin to unfold. Upon reaching the campsite, Phil discovers a disturbing sight. He finds a dead duck lying on the ground. But that's not all. There's a long note near the dead animal, seemingly placed there recently.
The weirdness continues. What the? And there's a dead duck here. A very long note.
It looks like it was just put here because it's not wet, Phil observes, his voice tinged with confusion. He notes that the duck appears to have been recently killed, adding to the ominous atmosphere. The combination of the dead animal and the strange note hints that something unsettling might be going on in these woods. Phil's curiosity is piqued, but at the same time, he feels a growing sense of unease.
All right, approaching the shelter here. There's definitely nobody here. I think there's a knit cap there. Pretty clean. Shelter log. Pretty cool fire area there. It's set up kind of like a fireplace, angled toward the shelter for heat, which is pretty neat.
As night falls, Phil sets up his camp and gets comfortable, enjoying the warmth of his fire and the solitude. He mentions that it's the night before Thanksgiving and that he stopped at a convenience store on his way to the trail, making the night feel like an ordinary camping trip. However, the strange events that happened earlier are still on his mind. He tries to push the thoughts aside as he enjoys a moment of peace by the fire, reflecting on the day. It seems like a calm moment, but there's a lingering feeling that something is off in the woods. Phil is still unsettled, but he tries to enjoy the tranquility of the night. Then, things take a turn for the weirder.
So I had the one campsite in mind, the Mats Creek shelter. And based on the crazy notes I saw and the dead animals and, I don't know, running into those women on the trail who were scared, I'm glad I made the decision not to camp down there because I would have just been freaked out the whole time. This is only about 2 miles from that other campsite, but it's on the other side of the road. Still on the Appalachian Trail, but far enough away that I feel safe, which is good. Fire's throwing off a good amount of heat right now. It's a nice feeling to have dinner done, dishes done, tent set up with a sleeping bag in it, fire going. So I'm gonna celebrate a little bit of a...
As he sits by the fire, Phil notices some cryptic writings that seem to have been left behind on the trail. One of them reads, "Watch out for Yeet Mouse," and another says, "The dead do walk and talk." Like, what the hell is going on? Phil exclaims, bewildered by the strange messages left for him. His mind races as he starts to feel more uncomfortable. What kind of person would leave these odd writings in the woods? The atmosphere around him becomes heavy with a sense of foreboding.
Emergency press conference. So I thought it would be a fun little thing to look at the Johns Hollow shelter log. That's where I'm staying, Johns Hollow shelter, and just check out trail names and what people's experiences were on the trail. And it was fun at first. And they have these things that they put in shelters a lot to hang your food bag from, so like mice can't get to it. Look at this one. What do you know? Same handwriting as the one in the book, and that garbage on the trail from that same dude. So it says, watch out for yeet mouse. The dead do walk and talk.
With his nerves starting to get the better of him, he decides to retreat to his tent to try and get some rest. In the safety of his tent, Phil tries to settle down, but his mind is still racing. He listens carefully to the sounds around him, hoping to hear something familiar. However, the silence in the woods is broken only by the occasional crackling of the fire. As he lies in his tent, he can't shake the feeling that someone is nearby, watching him. He keeps glancing at the hill behind the shelter, expecting to see the glow of a headlamp coming down the trail. The quiet stillness of the night only adds to the sense of unease. Phil knows he's not alone, but whether it's just the odd feeling of being in the wilderness or something more sinister, he's not sure. As the hours pass, the eerie feeling grows. The strange happenings, from the dead duck to the mysterious writings, continue to haunt Phil. He reflects on his decision to change campsites earlier, wondering if it was the right choice. Suddenly, his fears intensify when he notices something in the distance. A light moving through the woods. At first, he's not sure if it's just his imagination playing tricks on him, but the light doesn't disappear. "I think I saw someone," he says, his voice filled with dread. He quickly realizes that the light is getting closer, and he starts to feel like he's being followed. Feeling a surge of panic, Phil decides it's time to leave. "I just got out of there," he admits, still shaken. As he hikes back through the woods, he can't shake the feeling that the light is following him. He's unsure whether it's just the way the trees are positioned or if someone is actually out there tracking his movements. "I kept looking behind me a bunch of times," he says, his voice filled with nervous energy. The more he thinks about it, the more certain he becomes that he's not imagining things.
I think this is a combination of the weird dude down the trail and his cryptic writings that I keep finding everywhere, and also in the woods, your mind plays games with you. Every sound, every light is something to be concerned about. So, just gonna hunker down in here for a little bit and see what happens.
The light, possibly from a headlamp, seems to be following his every step. He's not willing to stick around to find out who it belongs to. Phil's heart races as he pushes forward, hoping to make it back to his truck. When he finally reaches his truck, the tension in his body begins to ease, but the questions remain. Was it another hiker? Or was something more sinister happening in the woods? Phil doesn't know for sure, but he's relieved to be leaving the mysterious happenings behind. As he drives away, he reflects on the strange events of the night and the unsettling feeling that stayed with him. The forest had been quiet, but it wasn't empty, and Phil learned that sometimes the scariest things on the trail are the ones you can't see.
Is there anybody here? What was that? Yo.
Yasko is a well-known YouTuber with 708K subscribers who specializes in creating content focused on spooky adventures. His channel is filled with horror and entertainment videos, including stories of paranormal encounters, creepy camping trips, and investigations into haunted places. One of his most chilling videos, My Terrifying Camping Trip at Haunted Ghost Town, Someone Showed Up to My Camp Gone Wrong, takes viewers on a terrifying journey to a remote and abandoned ghost town located deep in the mountains. What starts as an adventurous camping trip soon turns into a nightmare when an unknown presence begins to stalk Yasko and his friend Chris. Here's a breakdown of the video with timestamps. The video begins with Yasko setting the scene in an eerie, abandoned ghost town, which he's camping in with his friend Chris. "Is there anybody here?" Yasko asks, introducing the location to his viewers. "We are going to be camping at an abandoned haunted ghost town way up in the mountains of the Adirondacks.
Of an old abandoned cabin, and there are signs that someone's been living here very recently. And I mean, there's clothing. Right? What was that? What was that? What was that?
Who's over there? What the hell?
Oh! Yo. Oh, yo, Chris, can you come back? Can you come back?
Yeah.
What was that?
Yasko is inside an old cabin, and he notices signs that someone has been living there recently. There's clothing left behind, and as Yasko continues exploring, he hears strange noises that immediately put him on edge. "What was that? What was that? Who's over there?" he says, clearly startled. The tension is palpable as he calls out to Chris, urging him to return. Something is definitely wrong, and they both realize they're not alone.
Now, I do want to mention we've actually been to this place in the past. We're going to be sleeping in this cabin right here, and the very last time we were here, people showed up. And I don't know what their intentions were, but they definitely were not good. We actually had to leave in a frenzy in the middle of the night, and it was pretty rough. Unfortunately for us, we just got the notification on our phones that there was a winter storm warning for tonight. We're looking at -degree temperatures, and at the same time, they're saying we're going to get a bunch of snow. So, not something I'm looking forward to.
As the video progresses, Jasko shares that he and Chris had visited this ghost town in the past, and things didn't go as planned. "We're going to be sleeping in this cabin right here," Jasko mentions, revealing that the last time they stayed there, they had to leave in the middle of the night. "People showed up, and I don't know what their intentions were, but they definitely weren't good. We actually had to leave in a frenzy, and it was pretty rough." Jasko's recounting of the previous experience gives the audience a deeper sense of unease about the place, as it becomes clear that this isn't just an ordinary camping trip.
So Chris had the wonderful idea to split up here a little bit. You sure that's a good idea, pal?
I don't know. Usually when I have ideas like that, you're okay with them. Usually it's good.
I guess. I don't know, bro. I mean, that was a weird ass sound.
Bro, hear me out though. Like, look, Jesus has been here like recently. He wrote his name on the wall. Like, we're gonna be fine. He will protect us.
While exploring the cabin, the situation intensifies. Jasko and Chris begin hearing disturbing noises around them. "Shut the _ up," Chris yells after hearing a loud, unexplained sound. Jasko's voice is full of fear and discomfort as they continue to explore the abandoned buildings. "There's a building back there," he says. The surroundings are dark and foreboding, and the two friends are visibly shaken by the eerie atmosphere. "You can just feel it," Jasko explains, "like you're being watched. I'm going to switch Spirit Talker on as well." The pair begin using paranormal equipment in an attempt to communicate with any spirits that may be lingering in the area.
What the hell is this?
I don't know, but this
It's like an attic or something.
this closes from here, dude. Did you see this?
Oh, I didn't. Hey, what is this supposed to be then?
I don't know. It's the building shaped weird, right? It's like smaller on the bottom,
Yeah, it is
bigger
really...
on the top. It's kind of...
Oh, there's something on this. What the hell is that? Okay, first and foremost, I'm getting a really bad feeling up here. You said toy. Can you elaborate a little bit on what you meant? Oh, bro, there's crayons up here. Crayola, I mean.
In the attic of one of the abandoned buildings, the mood grows even darker. "What is this supposed to be?" Jasko asks, his voice filled with both confusion and concern. The attic appears to be filled with strange items, including crayons, which make Jasko think that the building might have been an old activity center. Maybe this was like an activity center, he muses. But his unease is evident as he says, "I'm getting a really bad feeling up here." The feeling of dread is almost tangible, and the pair are left wondering who or what might have been there before them. The strange objects in the attic seem to be a sign of something far more sinister.
Okay, let me grab my flashlight. That doesn't look really accessible. Where's my flashlight? Oh, I just noticed the bike. Okay. There's footsteps. A lot of them, actually. Let's go check this out. Children are here, huh? Well, my name's Jasko. If you'd like to communicate with me, anybody for that matter, please come forward and do so.
As Jasko and Chris move through the abandoned ghost town, they come across something that stops them in their tracks. A bike and fresh footprints. "Wait, what's that? I just noticed the bike and there are footsteps," Jasko says in shock. His voice quivers with fear as he realizes they might not be alone after all. The presence of the footprints leads them to wonder if someone or something is still in the area. Jasko attempts to make contact with whatever is out there, saying, "My name's Jasko. If you'd like to communicate with me, please come forward." The fear in his voice grows as he waits for a response, but nothing happens until they hear something that gives them both chills. Suddenly, they hear something, a voice that sends them into full panic mode. "How's that?" Yasko asks, his voice trembling. The atmosphere is tense as they continue searching the area, unsure of what they're going to encounter next. The fear of being watched is overwhelming, and the suspense builds as every step feels like it could be their last. "I just heard someone," Yasko says, his voice barely above a whisper. At this point, it's clear that they are in a place that isn't just haunted by ghosts. There's something much more sinister at play.
Whoa! Actually, what the f is that? Yeah, we're armed! Chris, slowly, creep. With me, stay with me. Stay with me right now.
Oh, fuck. Hold on. Bro.
What the f sound? I've never heard anything like that in my life.
That was freaky as shit. Evil? Yeah.
Can you hold us? Sorry. Okay. Guys, listen. I know this probably isn't as long of a video as I know.
The situation becomes even more terrifying when Jasko and Chris hear a strange noise coming from the cabin. "What the hell is that?" Jasko says, clearly on edge. "What is going on? What is that noise?" The sound is unlike anything they've ever heard before. Jasko urges Chris to stay close as they move through the darkened area. "Chris, slowly, stay with me right now," Jasko says, his fear escalating with every strange sound. The noise seems to come from all directions, and the two friends are on high alert. This is no longer just a camping trip. It has become a desperate race for survival.
I'll be here.
Shit, this is a bad idea.
Let's go, it's fine. Oh. Ow. Oh. Ah. Holy shit.
Dude, I have never heard these noises in my life. Close the door, close the door.
Fuck, you scared me.
Sorry.
Shit.
Okay, guys, listen. We're gonna get our sleeping bags and stuff situated. Luckily, we have some fucking great sleeping bags that'll keep us warm in minus 20 degree, minus 30 degree weather. So I'm good. But apart from that...
By the end of the video, Jasko is completely shaken by the experience. "I'm not in a good headspace right now. I genuinely feel so violated. This is my vehicle, like my home. Someone," he says, his voice heavy with emotion. The fear from the night is evident as he wraps up the video, apologizing to his viewers. "I appreciate you guys, but I've got to go," he says. The sense of violation and fear is overwhelming, and Jasko's emotional state shows how intense the experience has been.
There before we came?
No.
Okay.
Somebody like walked from town and like literally tried breaking into the truck.
We are so far. Listen, guys, I'm sorry for calling it quits right now. Listen, I know we can stay there. We already have. We stayed till the morning one of the times we came here. However,
that's enough reason to go.
We just did a full sweep of the truck. I literally crawled underneath the truck to like make sure there's nothing weird going on.
Yasko's terrifying camping trip video is an emotional roller coaster that keeps viewers on the edge of their seats. From the eerie setting of the abandoned ghost town to the chilling noises and eerie presence that seem to follow them, the suspense never lets up. Through his authentic reactions and gripping storytelling, Yasko offers a haunting glimpse into the unknown. His vulnerability and fear are palpable, making the experience feel raw and real. It's a must-watch for anyone who enjoys thrilling adventures and a little bit of horror mixed with real-life fear. Moxley's Paranormal World is a YouTube channel dedicated to the exploration of haunted, abandoned places throughout the UK. With 70.4K subscribers and 208 videos, it has become a go-to platform for fans of paranormal exploration. The channel takes its viewers to eerie locations such as haunted houses, asylums, and old hospitals, diving into some of the most notorious and creepy spots. The experiences shared are chilling, and if you're into ghost hunting or just enjoy a good spooky adventure, Moxley's Paranormal World will have you hooked. In one of the most recent explorations, Moxley starts the investigation in an ominous location, claiming the area has a dark history tied to a local legend.
This is where it's supposedly said that there was a lad that come here to sell his soul to the devil to be able to transform into a werewolf. And the devil actually appeared in front of him and granted him that wish. Later on that same night, it said that he called his friend and said he doesn't want this no more. And the phone line died, right?
This is where it's supposedly said that there was a lad who came here to sell his soul to the devil to be able to transform into a werewolf, Moxley explains. The tension builds as the night begins, and we're instantly thrust into the mystery surrounding the location, setting the stage for what's to come. Moxley's calm tone, contrasted with the sinister legend, pulls viewers in, giving them the feeling that something truly eerie is about to unfold. The adventure continues, and Moxley recalls a previous experience while on another paranormal investigation.
If you've seen Ghost Entrance live, you'd have seen the palaver we had there.
If you've seen Ghost Entrance live, you'd have seen the palaver we had there, referring to the chaos and strange occurrences that happened during that investigation. Despite the unsettling nature of the previous encounter, there's a sense of calm as Moxley begins the current investigation, though you can feel the tension building. The unease of being in an unknown, possibly haunted place is evident in the way Moxley speaks, making us feel like we're right there with him. As the night goes on, the atmosphere becomes increasingly strange.
Definitely a weird feeling out here, isn't there?
It's weird out there, Moxley states, as the group ventures further into the abandoned area. His voice carries an eerie edge, and we begin to feel the strange presence he's describing. There's something unsettling about the place, but it's difficult to pinpoint exactly what. The air seems to hum with energy, as if it's filled with ghosts and spirits from another time. The team continues to press on, but the bizarre feeling of being watched is palpable. Suddenly, the team experiences a more intense encounter. Moxley pulls out a spirit box in an attempt to communicate with any spirits that might be present. "Hello?" he calls into the darkness. The moment he speaks, the group hears an eerie sound, almost like a whisper, which sets the tone for the rest of the investigation.
Literally, we're just going to try and find a spot where we can stand.
We're just going to try and find the spot where we can stand.
Maybe do an EVP, Spirit Talker. Let's see what we can pick up on. But just being out here, guys, honestly, you can...
Maybe do an EVP session, Moxley says. His voice shakes slightly, the quietness around him amplifying the tension. As he turns on the spirit box, there's an immediate shift in the atmosphere. The feeling of being watched becomes even stronger. The investigation gets even more intense as the team picks up an unsettling response from the spirit box.
There's something here.
If I count to 3, on the count of 3, will you light them lights up for me? 1, 2, Alice, 3.
Wow.
On the count of 3, will you write them right for me? Moxley asks, trying to communicate with the unseen entity.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, Paul.
6.7 that went up to.
Brilliant.
When did that last happen?
At the asylum.
At the asylum.
Over there as well.
When the meter spikes to 6.7, the team realizes that something extraordinary is happening. When did that last happen with the asylum? Moxley asks, referencing a similar occurrence from another investigation. The spike in energy is hard to ignore, and everyone in the group can feel the electricity in the air, building the suspense for what might happen next. As the night drags on, the atmosphere becomes increasingly unsettling. Moxley continues to ask questions, but it's clear that the spirits are not playing nice.
Did you hear that voice? Yeah. Just while you were talking, there was a voice over your voice, and it come from here.
At one point, the team hears a loud metallic noise in the distance, which Moxley describes as something shouting. The group is on edge, and they begin to feel as if they're not alone. The connection between the physical sounds they hear and the paranormal presence they're encountering starts to become more real with every second. "You're certainly with us, aren't you?" Moxley says, trying to establish contact with whatever entity is lingering nearby. The tension continues to escalate as the group encounters even more strange phenomena.
Now, oh. No.
Did you hear that behind me?
Yes, I heard it.
Oh, cold. Right up my neck.
Do you want to come towards us?
Moxley's voice drops to a whisper as the group hears faint whispering sounds nearby. "How's that whispering?" he asks. It's a moment of pure fear and curiosity as Moxley and his crew realize that the spirits are becoming more aggressive and vocal. The whispers are low and unsettling, and the team reacts with palpable fear as they continue to gather evidence.
We're going further down to the outskirts of where the wolf sightings are. So we're still in wolf territory here. Say that again.
Witchcraft as well.
Yes.
It's been documented here. And you've got black-eyed children.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying, because they've headed towards where the black-eyed children.
As the investigation moves toward its climax, Moxley and his team find themselves nearing the site of an infamous local legend. We're heading towards where the Black M children sightings are, he says, heightening the fear and mystery of the situation. The stakes are raised as the group ventures into the unknown, trying to uncover the truth behind the spooky folklore surrounding the area. Moxley's voice is filled with both determination and anxiety as they move forward, knowing they are getting closer to a place that has been known to spook even the bravest of souls. As the investigation draws to a close, Moxley and his team find themselves feeling trapped, surrounded by paranormal energy.
Yeah. Seriously, we need to get back to camp as well, because something's going on back there with Dave there.
We need to get back to camp as well because something's going on back there, Moxley says. His words carry a sense of urgency, and the group begins to head back, realizing that the night is far from over. The tension continues to build as Moxley reveals that strange occurrences are happening at their camp as well, urging everyone to leave the area before things get worse. After an eventful and unnerving night of paranormal exploration, Moxley and his team wrap up their investigation.
So, we're going to get out of here. We're going to get back home now. It's been an absolute fantastic night. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of unexplainable stuff.
We're going to get back home now, he says, a sense of relief in his voice. It's been an absolutely fantastic night. But as the team reflects on what they've just experienced, Moxley asks his viewers if they want to see more. Let us know in the comments section. The adventure is far from over, and the intrigue surrounding the supernatural forces they encountered only grows. Will's Whereabouts is a channel created by Will, a passionate vehicle camping enthusiast who's dedicated to bringing a fresh perspective to the world of camping.
I think this will do for tonight's stealth camping.
With over 297K subscribers, his content has captured the attention of people who are just as excited about vehicle campers and offbeat adventures as he is. After traveling the world for 5 years, Will discovered a deep love for vehicle camping, something he never thought he'd get into. His first real foray into this world was turning his dad's old Ford Galaxy into a small camper, and from there things took off. The pandemic gave him the opportunity to up the ante, and he converted a Fiat Ducato into a fully functional camper van, affectionately known as Mary. Since then, Will has been living his best life on the road, capturing his experiences, and sharing his love for vehicle camping with his growing community of followers.
I don't think I'm going to be getting much sleep tonight.
The adventure begins with Will expressing his unease, setting the tone for an uncertain night ahead. I don't think I'm going to be getting much sleep tonight, he says, and it's clear he's feeling restless. His words immediately create tension, making us wonder what's going on. Is it the location? Or maybe something deeper? His tone is one of caution, making you wonder if something sinister is lurking just out of sight. Will's voice is calm but laced with a hint of unease, pulling us into his experience as viewers feel the tension building from the very start of the trip. The suspense is undeniable as you can't help but think about what he might face next. As Will continues with his camping setup, the external chaos becomes more apparent.
There are people about 100 meters away, blazing music out. At least some good songs anyway. And some people screaming. Wish me luck, everybody.
He mentions that about 100 meters away, a party is blasting music, which becomes a source of both distraction and amusement for him. At least some good songs, he says, trying to make light of the situation, but it's clear that the noise is getting under his skin. The music is loud and the surrounding environment is filled with people screaming and carrying on, creating a stark contrast to Will's peaceful camping retreat. His voice carries a slight humor as he adds, "Wish me luck." And we can't help but feel for him as his night seems to be turning into a chaotic mix of peace and disturbance. Will's ability to remain lighthearted in such a situation shows his resilience, but there's an underlying tension that you can't ignore. Then, something begins to shift in the atmosphere. As Will decides to check out his surroundings, the loud party noises begin to fade away, and peace begins to settle in. The first rays of sunlight begin to break through the horizon, casting a calm light on his camp. The view outside is much different from the chaotic scene of the previous night.
Let's have a look what the outside world looks like.
And Will takes a moment to reflect on the transition. "Let's have a look at what the outside world looks like," he says, showing an eagerness to share this newfound tranquility. With the quiet, empty car park now visible, Will mentions how refreshing it is to not hear the traffic from the main road. There's a sense of serenity that fills the air, and it almost feels like the calm after the storm. As he sets up his drone, Will's excitement builds as he gets ready to show viewers exactly where he stayed, giving them a bird's-eye view of his temporary home. The imagery of the sun rising and the peace that now surrounds him makes for a beautiful and calming shift in the video. However, there's still a bit of discomfort as Will mentions the chill in the air. It wasn't unbearable, but the cold is noticeable.
I couldn't hear the main road, which was great. Did get a bit cold, but it wasn't too bad, especially this morning when I put my heater on.
He explains that putting his heater on during the night was a game changer, making it easier to handle the low temperatures. Will's voice softens as he reflects on the moment, expressing gratitude for the small comfort of warmth. This detail gives us a glimpse into his experience. Nothing too dramatic, but it emphasizes the importance of these small comforts during outdoor adventures. The peaceful morning continues as Will shares his routine, which is exactly what you'd expect from a seasoned camper. He embraces the calmness, yet the slight chill in the air reminds viewers of the unpredictability of life on the road. Will shares a funny moment that brings a bit of humor into the story.
So guys, I accidentally switched my camera over to slow motion mode, which means that I lost all of the sound on the remaining clips, but I ended up leaving the car park relatively early because it gets really busy after 9 o'clock, so I wanted to head on out of there.
He admits that he accidentally switched his camera to slow major mode, which caused the loss of all the sound in the remaining clips. His reaction is one of lighthearted frustration, laughing it off and explaining the technical mistake to his viewers. It's clear that Will doesn't take himself too seriously, which only adds to his charm. Instead of letting the mishap frustrate him, he rolls with it, showing his ability to adapt and move forward. His honesty and humor make his content feel real and relatable, and viewers appreciate his transparency. In this video, Will gives viewers an inside look into his stealth camping adventure. He starts off uncertain, sharing his unease about not getting much sleep, and quickly shifts from chaos to peace as the day transitions from night to morning. Through his experiences, we feel both the tension and relief that comes with spending time in unpredictable environments. The mix of lighthearted humor, technical mishaps, and quiet moments of reflection make this video not just about camping, but about the genuine experience of living on the road. Will's ability to share the highs and lows of his journey makes him a relatable figure for anyone who has ever camped or spent time in nature, and his love for the open road is evident in every frame. His channel is a go-to for anyone who wants to explore vehicle camping through the eyes of someone who truly, despite the minor setback, Will continues with his adventure, wrapping up his camping mission. He notes how the car park would soon become crowded and explains that he prefers to leave early to avoid the rush. The quiet morning, which he had been enjoying, was soon going to be replaced with busy visitors. Will's decision to leave early comes with a sense of finality, but there's also a hint of reluctance as he moves on from the calm. He reflects on the stealth camping mission, grateful for the experience, and thanks his viewers for joining him on the journey. In his closing remarks, Will expresses his appreciation for the channel members who support his content, making sure to acknowledge their importance in helping him continue to create videos. He gives a heartfelt thank you to his audience, inviting others to join the channel's membership program, and encouraging his viewers to like and subscribe for future videos. As the video wraps up, the music fades and Will signs off, leaving his viewers with a sense of anticipation for the next adventure. The haunted cave. Joe Weller, a popular YouTuber known for his adventurous explorations, was gearing up for another dangerous journey. His usual curiosity and thrill-seeking nature led him and his friend Elliot to an eerie, abandoned location. As they ventured further into the unknown, the suspense and excitement were palpable. The camera, handed over to Joe by Malfoy, would document what might be one of their creepiest explorations yet. What they didn't know was that they were about to uncover something far more unsettling than they could have imagined. Little did they know, every step forward would take them deeper into the unknown.
Bye, Malfoy. Bye.
So, boys and girls, I've just picked up a camera from Malfoy, and now it's time to explore.
The pair immediately encountered strange remnants of past activities. A bloody steel chair stood out among the debris. They pondered the possibilities. Had someone been hurt here, or was this part of a twisted ritual? Joe and Elliot exchanged looks of disbelief, the tension in the air palpable. They continued to investigate, every corner revealing something new and disturbing. The chill in the atmosphere was thick, and every sound echoed through the abandoned place, making them jump at the slightest noise. The abandoned objects seemed to tell a dark story, but they couldn't yet piece it all together.
Oh, don't tell me that's a bloody another horse field. Okay, what is that? Why on earth would that be there? What if they've left it there because like a child died here and that was his like favourite contraption? There's a bloody steel chair. Oh, this looks alright. This looks bloody lovely. Someone's had a little extreme rules match.
As the duo moved through the eerie building, Joe's curiosity led him to question the oddities they were finding. The lights inside the building were strange, flickering, almost like they were positioned in a way that didn't make sense. They soon realized there was more to this place than just neglect. As they entered another room, the discovery of a bizarrely placed horse field stood before them. Joe couldn't understand why or how something so out of place could be in the middle of an abandoned building. What is that? He wondered aloud. The tension was growing with every new mystery they uncovered.
And then it's been burnt down. Pretty much. We've come to somewhere that's been demolished and there's nothing here. Alright, so basically, we've been to 2 places now tonight and both of them seem to be just demolished. So we've decided what we're going to do is do a bit more research, find somewhere that we're certain is still about, and yeah, just go another day.
Yeah.
Right, so boys and girls, it is now day 2 and we've done a little bit of research and we found that there is an abandoned care home 20 miles away from where we live. So
33 minutes drive.
Boys and girls, we have arrived on location. We have to travel down this little passage, right? Looks alright, you know, nice and visible.
Be careful of the nail there.
What nail?
There.
That's deadly. Right, one sec.
Be careful of the nail, as I said.
I'm okay. Coming through. Oh, the bloody sprinkles. What the f***'s that then?
It's because we bent it too much.
Oh my god. That just landed on my scalp. Full-on door has just attacked us.
Right.
Why is there loads of broken tiles?
Point it over there, is that it?
Oh my god, mate. No, I don't know about that.
They continued to explore deeper into the building.
That's deadly. Right, one sec.
Be careful of the nail, as I said.
Which was clearly in a state of ruin. Elliot noticed something strange.
Somebody's soaping in here, look, you can get through there.
There's actually a bloody teapot. Let me get a zoom on that.
An old teapot left on a shelf, collecting dust. Joe zoomed in, examining the item closely. This teapot wasn't just some random object. It hinted that this place had once been used for something else entirely. Then it clicked.
So this was a care home. So people have definitely died in here.
This had been a care home. People have definitely died here, Joe said with a shiver. The realization that this place had witnessed death made the hairs on the back of their necks stand up. Every step forward felt heavier, as they started to understand just how sinister this place really was.
Oh my god.
Somebody's soaping in here, look, you can get through there.
There's actually a bloody teapot. Let me get a zoom on that. So this was a care home. So people have definitely died in here.
Oh, 100%.
Why is that all laid out like that then?
Are these nappies?
What the hell?
The atmosphere grew even more unsettling as they moved through the building. The silence was only interrupted by the faint sounds of creaking floorboards and distant, unexplained noises. Suddenly, Elliot paused. He heard something too, a faint noise like something moving in the dark. Did you hear that?
What was that?
I heard that, did you?
Yeah.
He asked Joe, his voice low with unease. Joe, equally startled, nodded. They stood there for a moment, straining their ears, but the sound didn't repeat. The tension in the air thickened as they realized they might not be alone.
I don't know. Hey, what's in here? There's a bog in there. Nah, bro. Should we go in?
Yeah,
That's it. Right. To anybody occupying this building, we just want to make some friends.
Hello?
As they ventured deeper, the noise grew more pronounced. Now there was no mistaking it. Someone or something was inside the building with them. A rustling sound echoed from a room down the hall, followed by what sounded like something being knocked over. Joe whispered, "Wait, if there's anyone here." His voice trailed off, but the fear was clear. Elliot's eyes darted around, but they couldn't see anything. The possibility of encountering another person, or something far worse, made them reconsider continuing their exploration. The situation was becoming more dangerous, and the unknown felt more threatening than ever.
What was that?
I heard that, did you?
Yeah.
Okay, can we back off a little bit, mate? Like, one sec. Bro, I'm telling you, there's people in there. Like someone was moving.
I'm not hearing it as an identifiable noise like, oh, that's someone walking around.
Like, on the realist level now, I don't know if we should do this. What was that, man?
Wait.
The air grew colder, and Joe and Elliot could no longer ignore the eerie sounds coming from deeper within the building. As they moved forward, they noticed something strange. An object had been thrown or knocked over.
Yeah.
Oh god.
I'm fully man. Really? That was a legit noise. Mate, they like threw something.
It was as if something was making itself known, but in the most terrifying way possible. Joe's voice trembled as he said, "I thought I heard something. Oh my God, I heard something being thrown." The unease between them grew stronger as they realized that they were not just exploring an abandoned building. They were walking through something far more sinister.
Right, so what I heard was they threw something on the ground or something like that.
Threw something, knocked something over, but it's after I said about like making themselves known.
By this point, the fear had reached its peak. Joe and Elliot had seen enough. The strange noises.
You're here.
Oh god.
I'm fully man.
Off.
The unsettling discoveries and the growing feeling of being watched made it clear. It was time to go. They had explored the building far enough, and their instincts were telling them it was no longer safe to stay. Joe spoke with a sense of finality. "We should have just risked it all, but at the end of the day, getting out, it gets to a point where it's just not worth it." The decision was made. They needed to leave before things got any worse. With their hearts racing, Joe and Elliot made their way to the exit. Despite the intense fear they had experienced, they knew they had to share their journey with their viewers. "It'd be sick if you can leave a like rating, subscribe if you're new, and check out Little Boy Ellie for more," Joe said, trying to lighten the mood. "Catch you in the next one." The video ended with them running out of the building, their adventure now over, but the lingering sense of terror still fresh in their minds.
Risked it all, whatever, but at the end of the day,
it's not worth it.
Yeah, it gets to a point where it's not worth it. So, shit, man. But yeah, it'd be sick if you could leave a like rating, subscribe if you're new. Check out Little Boy Elliot Crawford. Catch you later.
Brendan and Steve, deep in the heart of the Peak District, were in the middle of another stealth van camping adventure, but things quickly took a terrifying turn. The duo had found a secluded spot in the hills to set up their van for a peaceful night of rest. However, as the night grew darker, they noticed something odd. There was a light moving in the distance, creeping closer. As Brendan looked out the window, his voice trembled slightly as he said, "Mate, there's a car coming down the hill." It was far from a casual passerby. The eerie feeling that they were being watched started to settle in. "You're not going to just get anybody coming down here, are you?" Brendan added, looking out into the shadows of the hills. He was sure that something, or someone, was lurking out there.
Me and Steve have had to part ways. Someone was just outside the van.
I'm looking at you, mate. There's a car hitting about up there. It's that light up there.
He's just stalking us.
You're not going to just get anybody coming down here, are you?
There's definitely something or someone at the brow of that hill.
You stay away from my van.
The strange light and the unsettling feeling only grew stronger as the night wore on. Brendan glanced around the area, trying to make sense of what was happening. "There's definitely something or someone with the brow of that hill," he muttered, unsure of what to make of the strange occurrences. He tried to calm himself, but every sound seemed to heighten his unease. "Stay away from my van," he whispered, his voice tight with tension. A strange feeling lingered in the air, as if the night had suddenly become far more sinister than they expected.
Don't know why I just turned the lights on again, because I've got a sneaky confession. I've been up for 20 minutes. I've had the heating on, the diesel heater's been on. It is now 19 degrees inside this van. When I woke up 20 minutes ago, it was 1.5 degrees.
As the sounds of the night grew more unsettling, they noticed a car driving back and forth near their van. They were by the van, Brendan said, his concern growing. "I don't know what he's doing up there, but it's worrying me a little bit." The situation was getting weirder by the minute, and both Brendan and Steve were starting to feel like they were being stalked. They watched the car pass by, unsure of what the driver's intentions were. Brendan's voice was shaky as he said, "What time is it? Stay away from my van."
Me a little bit.
Yeah, hang on.
I've got something to say.
What time is it?
You stay away from my van.
Honestly, when I heard that car go past.
It was clear that they weren't just dealing with a normal passerby. Suddenly, a new element of the mystery appeared. A spotlight flickered in the distance, casting an ominous glow across the hills. "Look, he's got something up there," Brendan said, pointing out the window at the strange light. "He's our problem."
It's our problem. So he's just driving backwards and forwards. If you look, right? If you look.
He added, his voice full of frustration. "He's just driving backwards and forwards." Every passing moment felt more intense as they realized they were no longer alone. "Look at the top of the hill," Steve said, his voice filled with awe and fear. "There's something there." The glow from the light only added to the growing tension, and Brendan's nerves were getting the better of him. "That scared the living daylights out of me," he admitted, unable to shake the feeling that they were being hunted.
Someone was just outside the van. Oh. You alright, mate?
Yeah. And there's a car. Did you have it as well?
Yeah.
Like a.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at you, mate. There's a car hitting about up there. It must have been. They were by the van.
As the light on the hill grew brighter, they knew something wasn't right. Brendan squinted into the darkness, trying to make sense of what he was seeing. "It must be a vehicle," he said, sounding uncertain. "That farm's quite a way away. We shouldn't be seeing anything here at this hour." The idea that they were being watched was becoming a reality, and there was no escaping it. "Look at the time," Brendan muttered. "You're not going to just get anybody coming down here." The fear was palpable, and they both realized that their situation was quickly becoming more dangerous.
What time is it?
You stay away from my van.
Honestly, when I heard that car go past. What were they doing?
I don't know, but we've got somebody up there who's got a big spotlight on. He's our problem. Because he's just driving backwards and forwards. If you look, he's definitely got a light on there. He's sitting up there. Is there somebody up?
Brendan grabbed his drone, hoping it would help them get a better sense of what was going on. "Apologies if you guys can't really see much," he said.
Apologies if you guys can't really see much because of how dark it is, but there's definitely something or someone.
But the glow from the distant fire was undeniable. The heat coming off the light was intense, and it didn't seem like anything natural was causing it. "That's a fire," Steve said, his voice low. "What are they doing, setting fires at this time of night?" The situation was becoming even more confusing and eerie as they watched the light flicker in the distance. As the car passed again, they both realized the presence was not just coincidental. There were two vehicles involved. One was a van, and the other was a Land Rover.
Might have been then.
That would have been a vehicle, mate. I've got to be honest, like, because that farm's quite a way away. Now, we've had another vehicle. Look, mate, look at the time, what time it is, right? You're not going to just get anybody coming down here, are you? There's only another option of doing this, Brendan. Is the drone.
Despite the growing unease, Brendan and Steve decided to stay put, convinced that they had a handle on the situation, at least for now. "We're going to stay here," Brendan said, trying to remain calm. "At least we know what that initial sound was. It sounded pretty horrific in the middle of the night, but we've got it figured out." But as the tension lingered, both of them couldn't shake the feeling that they were still being watched. "It would have been a lot better if we knew for sure," Brendan continued, but his uncertainty was evident. As the night dragged on, both Brendan and Steve found it difficult to ignore the lingering fear that something would go wrong. "Wish me luck," Brendan said, looking at the camera. "If I don't bring you back for the remainder of this video, I've been successful in getting a good night's sleep." It was clear that Brendan didn't expect things to settle down easily, but he was determined to push through the night. "Fingers crossed I get some kip," he added, hoping for some rest despite the unsettling events that had already taken place. The night was far from over, and they both knew that they would be on edge until the morning.
I can't really see much because of how dark it is, but there's definitely something or someone at the brow of that hill.
Look with your naked eye at the top of that hill.
Yeah. See, it's picking up something.
Yeah.
It's like, mate, it's a fire. Look at the heat off. Look at the glow off it.
What the hell are they doing setting fires at this time of night?
It's quite a big fire, that was, because it showed up, didn't it?
Car's gone past twice.
Yeah. So we have two vehicles.
Yeah.
Past, but
what did you say? One was a van?
One was a van, definitely a little van.
Yeah.
And the other was
Land Rover.
Yeah, that Land Rover.
So conclusion in a nutshell is that we're going to carry on staying here. We're going to kind of disregard that a little bit. At least we know what the initial sound was. That
the video captures the growing sense of fear and unease as Brendan and Steve find themselves in an increasingly dangerous and mysterious situation. What started as a simple camping trip quickly turned into a frightening encounter with something, or someone, lurking just beyond the reach of their van. Every strange light, every passing vehicle, and every sound outside seemed to heighten the tension, making the viewers feel like they were right there with Brendan and Steve, experiencing the fear and suspense firsthand. The combination of eerie visuals, nerve-wracking suspense, and the looming threat of an unknown presence in the hills kept the audience on edge. As the night wore on, Brendan and Steve were left wondering whether they had made a terrible mistake by staying put. Would they make it through the night unscathed, or would the mysterious stalker in the hills catch up with them before dawn? The video ends with viewers left hanging, uncertain of what will happen next. The sense of dread and anticipation is palpable, making it clear that this stealth van camping adventure was anything but peaceful.
Sleep. Although I'm not holding out too many hopes. We've watched this happen, but hey, wish me luck. If I don't bring you back for the remainder of this video, I've been successful in getting a good night's sleep, and I'll give you a full update in next week's video.
Let's check out this clip caught on a home security camera outside a house. You can hear faint footsteps before a blurry figure appears and moves across the screen. Since the video quality is poor, it's hard to make out any details. Is it a prowler or could it be something paranormal? Upon closer inspection, the figure seems to briefly disappear when it reaches the center of the screen. This leaves us wondering if it's just a camera glitch or if there's something more sinister going on. These two men kept hearing strange voices from their backyard and eventually decided to go check. But what they did not know was that they were in for a surprise. A huge monster was seen running to hide from them, but that did not stop the friends there. They had to go check, and that is when we see the terrifying face. The video ends right there, so let's just hope both of them are okay. While a farmer was out with his goats and cows, he sensed that something was not okay. So he took his camera out and started checking the area. And what he found was this creepy black creature with big horns at the very edge of his property. Even though the creature did not look interested in coming near or harming the man, it was still good that he only recorded the thing and did not try to go near. In 2016, a strange video surfaced online showing a woman shopping at a mall. Suddenly, an item falls behind her, and she puts it back on the shelf. Then she starts acting weirdly, as if something is controlling her. She drops her shopping and writhes on the floor, screaming loudly. Her screams even push the onlookers away. As the man in black tries to hold her down, the woman calms down, but then lets out a final scream, which makes objects in the store move and the security camera flicker. This video was filmed by a guy from Mexico. Some people who have watched it are saying it's one of the most clear sightings of a UFO ever caught on camera. Against a totally dark sky, you can see a weird blue circle that looks like it's morphing into different shapes. Apparently, this man had this strange thing hovering over his house for about a half an hour before it vanished. What do you think it might be? In this video, Rick Dyer, a self-proclaimed Bigfoot tracker, claimed to have killed the elusive creature. The video shows a tense moment where the massive beast attacks the man holding the camera. Afterwards, Dyer provides a few pictures, claiming they're of the Bigfoot he killed. So do you think it was really a Bigfoot that he killed, or was he just lying straight away? This clip features an American tourist who got an unexpected guest on a safari in Tanzania. Well, Britton Hayes from Seattle got a special visitor in the form of a cheetah who jumped right into the back seat of his vehicle. And if that wasn't wild enough, another cheetah decided to join in on the fun. Poor Hayes was frozen with fear, praying he wouldn't become dinner for the big cats. A bizarre figure dressed in white was spotted standing directly under the window of a house where the mother and her baby had been only moments before. It appeared as though the figure knew where the family was located. The incident left the woman feeling shaken and terrified, with no logical explanation for what had just happened. Some say it was a witch, while others think it was something else. Still, it remains a mystery. Whether it was an extraterrestrial being or simply an optical illusion, this video is fascinating to watch. A large group of individuals gathered to witness this bizarre creature, which appeared to be levitating in midair while wearing wings on its arms and feet. Although it resembled a mermaid or an alien, it actually looked more like a boy. However, the reality behind the levitation was not as mysterious as it seemed. In fact, it was just a simple trick involving thin strings that helped the individual hover in the air. A pilot was on his usual routine, flying a plane from one city to another. But what he did not know was that he was about to come across a sight he had ever imagined, a UFO. Now, for those of you thinking it was just a balloon, those don't fly forwards, they go upwards. And also, balloons do not have this kind of speed. So nope, that wasn't a balloon. To me, it totally looks like a UFO. While paying a visit to his loved ones in the cemetery, a guy stumbled upon something peculiar. He noticed a grave that was partially open and seemed like it was being destroyed. As he went closer, he was taken aback to see the remains of a body buried there, including a tall skeleton that was around 1.8 meters tall. But that wasn't all. There were other skulls and bones inside the grave, which hinted at some sort of witchcraft. However, nothing was ever really explained or cleared up. This video features a man named Hassan, who is an explorer of witches. He voluntarily searches for witches, and in this particular video, he visits a witch mountain to find one. To his surprise, he actually spots a witch dressed in black clothes and holding a stick, which seems to be made from an animal skull. Initially, she was sitting at the cave entrance, but when she saw the YouTuber, she went inside and started mumbling some spells. Suddenly, a stone hit Hassan's face, which was a signal for him to back off as the witch didn't want to be disturbed. As the driver was cruising down the Queensland Highway, little did he know that he was in for a surprise. As he continued driving, he spotted something unusual on the side of the road. To his shock, he and other onlookers saw a ghostly figure standing in the middle of the road. The ghost, which appeared to be a pure white child, was just a few inches above the ground. The eerie sighting quickly gained fame and was dubbed the Ghost Child by many. However, some skeptics argued that it might have been just a human baby who happened to wander in the middle of the road. Even though the video is made by an amateur and we don't know who made it, it's perfect for our list. Can you imagine that there's a pterosaur flying in the sky? We know about pterosaurs because of fossils in movies, but we can't see them anymore. But some lucky people saw one and filmed it. I'm happy we have the video. Do you think it's real or just for attention? Most folks would bolt to the side of an alligator, but not these guys. This couple not only keeps one as a pet, but also knows how to make it blush. When the gator struggled to chomp down some grub, it got bashful and decided to give up and take a dip in the water instead. Aw, poor fella. A group of folks caught some ducks being super chill. Even when the water dragged them toward the brink, they were like, nah, whatever. Everyone was freaked out, but little did they know that these feathered friends were just messing around. As soon as they got close to the edge, they flapped their wings and flew to safety. Sneaky ducks. A few years ago, there was a video that became really popular online. It showed a strange sea creature that some people had caught and filmed. A lot of folks believe it's the real deal and pretty creepy too. The creature looks a bit like a sea hare, but with some serious sharp teeth inside its mouth. Honestly, I don't know what it was up to, but it definitely gave me the heebie-jeebies. The folks who were used to discovering fishes on the shore were taken aback when they stumbled upon a strange human-like creature that had washed upon the beach. It appeared to be a miniature version of a human, with a slimy coating all over its body and small limbs. The more they examined it, the more it mystified them, especially when they observed it breathing and slightly shifting its eerie body. What do you think it was? This incredible video was taken in Jakarta, Indonesia on September 11, 2011. You can see a radiant winged being that looks like an angel descending from the sky and touching down on the ground before taking off again. When people saw this video, they started calling the figure the Angel of Jakarta. Some people even thought it might be a guardian angel sent down. However, there's always a chance that this might be fake. Have you seen this video that's been going viral lately? It's really interesting. Nobody knows where it's from, but it seems to have been filmed in Africa. In the video, a group of people are gathered around a woman standing in the water, and it looks like some sort of ritual is taking place. But then something crazy happens. All of a sudden, the water recedes super fast, and the bay is completely dry where others are standing. People freaked out and said that the shaman caused the water to shift using some kind of divine power. But nothing was ever explained by anyone. Have you ever seen a super buff goat? If you haven't, we're about to show you something awesome. So this guy was out hiking in the mountains, just enjoying nature and all that. And guess what he stumbled upon? This seriously ripped goat. He knew he had to capture it on his phone and share it with everyone. And guess what? The video went crazy viral on Twitter, racking up a whopping 4 million views. People couldn't help but be amazed by the goat's incredible physique. This guy was out in the wilderness filming a video, just minding his own business, when all of a sudden, he sees something bolting towards him like a bat out of hell. And guess what? It's a freaking mountain lion! Yeah, you heard me right. This guy is staring down a big, wild apex predator. But you know what's even crazier? He manages to narrowly escape like a boss. This dude had a seriously close call.
No, you face, dude.
But he lives to tell the tale, and we're all glad he made it out in one piece. Well, on their routine bike ride along steep tracks, a group of bikers encountered a terrifying experience that would haunt them forever. As they ventured deeper into the forest, a strange humanoid creature suddenly emerged from the side of the track and quickly started running away. The sight of the creature caused one of the bikers to lose control and fall off his bike. Shocked, the biker with the camera attempted to chase after the creature, but to his surprise, it vanished into thin air, leaving him bewildered. An incredible video aired on an Indian news channel featuring the most mind-blowing thing ever. A leopard visited a cow every night, and they had their own secret friendship going on while the human snoozed. Upon investigation, it was discovered that the cow had taken care of the leopard when it was a baby, and now the leopard was not ready to let go of its caregiver. How sweet is that? Even though the video is made by an amateur and we don't know who made it, it's perfect for our list. Can you imagine that there's a pterosaur flying in the sky? We know about pterosaurs because of fossils in movies, but we can't see them anymore. But some lucky people saw one and filmed it. I'm happy we have the video. Do you think it's real or just for attention? Most folks would bolt to the side of an alligator, but not these guys. This couple not only keeps one as a pet, but also knows how to make it blush. When the gator struggled to chomp down some grub, it got bashful and decided to give up and take a dip in the water instead. Aw, poor fella. This Ring camera recorded a man walking on the street at night, but just after a few seconds, he appeared to have vanished in thin air. It was in the middle of the camera's view, so we cannot say that he may have walked to the edge of the view. Now, how did this happen and who exactly was the man? This answer remained unknown as the woman whose camera recorded it said she had never seen him before. A year ago, people in Washington saw this weird phenomena happening. A number of fishes were seen crossing the road. Just like you and me, they were all so shocked to see how these salmon fishes were showing this unusual behavior. However, this scenario is the result of the river flooding. What you're seeing are salmon going from a field that they've been washed into, back across the road to get back into the river to continue their journey. This doesn't happen very often, but when it does, some salmon that get washed out do this to make it back. What you're seeing right here is a spider which is newly discovered. When the researchers saw it for the first time flip-flopping its way through the desert, they were astonished. At first, it was thought that something might have triggered such behavior. However, later it was observed that this was a new species, and this spider was unlike all the others, and it only does its cartwheeling when trying to get away from a predator. We don't know what this dog was thinking, but he sure did surprise all the humans with his supernatural ability to walk on the water. Every single person in the party was just left shaken. It almost seems like something out of the movie The Secret Life of Pets. Do you think it could be based on a true story? Ravens are incredible beings and are considered to be one of the smartest birds. But one quality of theirs makes them more special than anyone else, and that is the way they can imitate human voices.
Hi. Hi. Good bird.
For instance, this clip shows a couple recording a raven perched on a stone, then try to make the bird imitate them, but at first, it doesn't seem to care. But then, all of a sudden, the raven starts repeating what they say.
You alright, man? You alright? You alright?
It even says, "I'm alright."
You alright? You alright? You alright? I'm alright.
If you think penguins are just fluffy birds just walking here and there in the coldest regions on the Earth, well, you're wrong, because these penguins are actually having way more fun than any of us. Just that their style of having fun is a little unusual, because what they do love is to poop over one another. Now, I know, it might sound gross and you might go all ew hearing this, but they enjoy it a lot. And who are we to judge, right? Humans and animals have been living together for decades, and this year-long relation has led to us understanding each other pretty much. For instance, take the elephant as an example. Years and years after passing the same road, he has come to know that a truck passes the same road every day with lots of sugarcane. So, what did the elephant decide to do? He decided to take a shortcut to get food and steal from the truck whenever he gets the chance to. These tourists were out looking and admiring the natural beauty when one of them discovered this strange thing happening. He found a waterfall where the water was turning into perfectly round ice balls.
Ice balls.
Don't they just look perfect? And if you're thinking of hitting a friend with it, don't play with them or use them as weapons because they'll hurt. Bugs are often thought of as tiny creatures that anyone can easily squash, aren't they? However, this particular bug defies that stereotype and proves that size doesn't always equate to weakness. Its grip was one of the most powerful I have ever seen, clinging to the machine with an unyielding force that seemed to say, "Go ahead and try to break free." Isn't that truly remarkable? This kangaroo was stuck and had come to the conclusion that he cannot do anything about his situation and needs the help of humans. That is why he did not resist or punch the men who came to help him. Instead, after getting saved and safely on the land, he stood there, calmly waiting for the humans to shake his hand.
Oh, he's thanking ya.
Such bizarre creatures. Not especially friendly, but impossible not to love. So this photographer thought she'd get some cool shots of these seals up close by laying low on the ground. But one of the seals spotted her and decided to check out what's going on. Next thing you know, this huge baby elephant seal is flopping over to investigate. And before she knows it, she's getting squished. Apparently, the seal weighed over 100 kilograms. But the best part is, she and her husband couldn't stop laughing, even though she was flattened like a pancake. Have you seen this video where a photographer was trying to capture some pictures of meerkats in their natural habitat? Well, the meerkats were not too happy being ignored, and they decided to check out the photographer instead. They climbed up on his head, back, and even his camera. These moments were called magic moments by the BBC, and we totally get why. This video features a man showing off his cartwheeling skills in front of a dolphin enclosure. At first, one curious dolphin tried to imitate him, but gave up after one attempt. But then another dolphin arrived and was totally into it. She mimicked every single cartwheel the man did, as if she was trying to impress him. I mean, who knew? Maybe the dolphin did get a crush on the man, right?
This is so cool! This is... Oh my god.
Be it monkeys, chimps, or gorillas, they are all said to be the most intelligent animals on Earth. And they imitate humans almost perfectly. For instance, see this one chimp who was recorded by a camera washing a cloth. Then it cleaned its hands and face with it. The caretakers had no idea where the animal had picked up this habit. According to them, no one ever did anything like that in front of the chimp. But then, where did he learn that? Take a look at this unlikely pair taking a leisurely walk through the woods. It's a lion and a deer. Can you imagine? This trail cam clip is truly special, considering lions are notorious predators and rulers of the jungle. Yet here we witness a deer fearlessly following a lion, as if they're old chums or something. Who knows what really happens in the animal world? But one thing is certain. This video is guaranteed to brighten your day and put a smile on your face. What you're seeing right here might look like a worm to you, but just look at its fang-type teeth and the whole head. This is not a worm, folks. It is called a caecilian, and these are amphibians. Yup, just like frogs. They just lack arms and legs. But as they lack, their nature made them the only amphibians to have fangs. Have you ever heard of a fishing cat? No, it's not a cat that likes to go fishing with a rod and reel. These adorable felines are the only ones in the world that specialize in catching fish. While other cats may nibble on a fish occasionally, these guys are pros at it. Found in South Asia, fishing cats are known for their unique hunting style. They dive face first into the water to ambush their prey. This video shows two turtles hanging out together, when suddenly one of them flips over and can't get back on its feet. But what happens next is truly heartwarming. The other turtle comes to the rescue and uses its head to push and help the struggling one roll back over. This behavior has been seen among turtles a lot of times. When one rolls over the other, one comes running to help. This amazing chimp was seen sweeping the floor in his cage with a broom. It's incredible, right? According to his caretaker, the chimp learned this behavior by simply watching them sweep the floor. Apparently, she's usually the one cleaning up the enclosure, but this clever chimp decided to lend a hand. This man was sitting in the woods minding his own business when this little guy decided to come up to him and give some company. What did he want in return? Just some scratches under his neck. That is all the payment needed for such nice company. And look at that cute face. Every time I hear about catfish, they're always doing something wild. Now in India, these slippery swimmers are taking to land and learning how to walk. Don't they have enough space in the vast ocean? Apparently not, as they venture onto land in search of grub. I don't know about you, but to me it's kind of freaky to see so many of them scurrying about. What a strange sight. If you thought sloths were nothing but lazy critters, prepare to have your mind blown, because it turns out they can move pretty darn fast when they want to. I mean, check out the footage of those little guys attacking those humans with lightning speed. Honestly, it's probably best to give them their space and let them do their sloth thing without disturbing them. Who knew these seemingly laid-back animals had such a surprising burst of energy in them? Well, on their routine bike ride along steep tracks, a group of bikers encountered a terrifying experience that would haunt them forever. As they ventured deeper into the forest, a strange humanoid creature suddenly emerged from the side of the track and quickly started running away. The sight of the creature caused one of the bikers to lose control and fall off his bike. Shocked, the biker with the camera attempted to chase after the creature, but to his surprise, it vanished into thin air, leaving him bewildered. As Vincent Vajera was enjoying a leisurely fishing trip off the coast of California, he got an unexpected visitor. A friendly seal who decided to hop aboard his kayak. Initially, Vincent was a bit startled, but he quickly realized that the seal just wanted a hug. The adorable creature snuggled up to Vincent and refused to leave, creating a heartwarming moment that was caught on camera.
Here's my new friend. He jumped aboard out at the bridge.
Despite several attempts to coax the seal back into the water, the little guy just wanted to stay and hang out with his new friends. Check out this crazy footage captured by some guys in Israel. They managed to catch what looks like a real-life mermaid on camera. The quality isn't great, but you can totally see the creature chilling on a rock before diving back into the water when it notices the guys creeping up.
Oh my god! What is that?
Do you think this thing was the real deal or just some kind of hoax? We want to hear your thoughts. When a wildlife channel placed cameras in the jungle, their goal was to capture footage of animals being themselves. What they didn't expect was to witness bears shaking their behinds and moving like Shakira in the woods. Just like us humans, bears get itchy sometimes. But unlike us, they scratch their backs on trees, and they absolutely love doing it. I mean, look at them. You won't believe what I just saw in this video. So it was late at night, and this guy was driving his usual route when he came across something super creepy. He was like, nope, I'm turning back and getting out of here. There was this ghostly woman in the middle of the road, holding a knife, and she was actually stabbing herself. Can you imagine? What would you do if you witnessed that? There was a French photographer who decided to set up a camera and a big mirror in the middle of the jungle. He wanted to see how the animals would react to their own reflections. And guess what? It turned out way crazier than he expected. The leopard couldn't get enough of itself. The gorilla saw it as a chance to have a fight with its own reflection. And the elephant didn't really care much. But the chimpanzees, oh boy, they had a blast checking themselves out while scratching. Imagine there's a dock and out of nowhere a mermaid shows up. She looks all confused, swimming back and forth like she's trying to find her way to the water. But here's the strange part. There were people around, and they didn't do anything. I mean, come on, if I saw a mermaid, I'd be freaking out. You'd think someone would have called the authorities or something. Now, there's a big debate about whether this video is real or edited. Nobody really knows for sure. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Imagine if the magical world from the books and movies were actually real. Well, after watching this video of a creature that looks just like Dobby, I can't help but wonder if there's a hidden realm of magic out there that we humans don't know about. This creature was doing some kind of funky dance with its thin legs, and trust me, it definitely wasn't a human or some kid doing a chicken dance. Have you seen this bizarre video that's been going around? It's super short, but it shows this seriously weird creature on a random trail in the middle of nowhere. It's hard to make out what it is, but it kind of resembles a woman with a really strange posture. The thing is all muddy or dark brown and crawling around, scratching the ground with its long, skinny fingers. It also has something pointy sticking out of its head and seems to be crying. You know those pesky raccoons in North America that are always causing trouble for humans? Well, turns out they can annoy bucks too. In this video, these little thieves were initially tolerated as they stole food from the fields. But after a while, the buck's patience reached its limit. The food was running out, but the raccoons just kept showing up. There were so many raccoons, and they were so stubborn that the deer felt overwhelmed and decided to take matters into its own hooves. Apparently, a baby dinosaur or something that looks like it was spotted running around the city on CCTV footage. It's got us all wondering, could it be possible that dinosaurs still exist? I mean, how crazy would that be? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think it's legit or just a prank? Whether it's alligators or crocodiles, we've always seen them as fierce predators. But have you ever wondered what these reptiles do when they think no one's watching? Well, picture this. A gator lazily floating around in a pool, seemingly enjoying the refreshing water. It's almost like they're having a chill moment, just vibing with themselves. Seeing them like this, it's hard not to find them kinda cute, right? On Christmas Island in the Indian Ocean, a spectacular natural phenomenon takes place every year. Millions of red crabs embark on an epic journey from the forest to the coast to mate. This journey begins during the rainy season and is protected by park rangers who block off roads and construct temporary fences along the migration path. As the crabs reach the coast, they engage in a frenzied mating ritual before the females lay up to 10,000 eggs each. The island becomes a sea of red as the crabs cover the landscape, creating a breathtaking and unforgettable sight. This spooky video was recorded in Mexico in 2006. You can see a mysterious figure flying through the sky on a broomstick. Some people think it's a witch. The locals had been talking about these witches for ages, but nobody had any proof until this footage was taken. The witch's flight looks a bit shaky, so maybe she's a new witch still practicing her flying skills. In a terrifying encounter in Alberta, Canada, a man captured a video that appears to unveil an enormous creature, potentially belonging to a tribe of colossal beings native to the region, leisurely walking atop of a mountain without any visible means of support. The shadowy figure is of such immense size that it was noticed by two individuals during their usual commute. A multitude of individuals are now filled with curiosity, questioning the validity of the legends surrounding giants in this area. Could it be that there's something far more sinister lurking within the mysterious Alberta mountains? The Rake is a popular creepy urban legend, similar to Slender Man, about a humanoid creature that attacks people. In a video posted by a man on July 25, 2011, filmed near the Hudson Bridge, he heard strange noises on his roof and decided to go check out what was happening while recording it all. While exploring, he unexpectedly falls off the roof, even though he was not injured or anything. The footage revealed a terrifying creature staring back at him later, leaving us all to imagine, was that really a rake?
Hello? Oh my god.
Let's check out this clip captured on a home security camera outside a house. You can hear faint footsteps before a blurry figure appears and moves across the screen. Since the video quality is poor, it's hard to make out any details. Is it a prowler, or could it be something paranormal? Upon closer inspection, the figure seems to briefly disappear when it reaches the center of the screen. This leaves us wondering if it's just a camera glitch, or if there's something more sinister going on. This video was recorded by a group of friends who were looking for ghosts and other unusual beings they thought that would be present there. And that's exactly what they happened to come across. They were hearing strange noises, and when they went deeper into the forest to investigate, they saw a weird creature staring at them from behind the tree. As soon as they spotted it, it disappeared.
Oh shit! Oh my God.
A weird black smoke-like being is what appears in this video, and this happened when an arrest was going on in Florida. Neither the police officers nor the other man had any idea about it. They remained oblivious to the thing, but the guy recording it was surely freaked out. Riding through the peaceful forest, a lone biker suddenly comes across a strange and mysterious creature. As a cyclist gets closer to a narrow trail surrounded by tall walls, a weird and otherworldly being jumps down from the wall and almost crashes into the biker. Surprised, the cyclist stops to look for the creature, but it has disappeared without a trace. Because of its strange look and incredible speed, it's hard to figure out exactly what this creature could be. There was a French photographer who decided to set up a camera and a big mirror in the middle of the jungle. He wanted to see how the animals would react to their own reflections, and guess what? It turned out way crazier than he expected. The leopard couldn't get enough of itself. The gorilla saw it as a chance to have a fight with its own reflection, and the elephant didn't really care much. But the chimpanzees, oh boy, they had a blast checking themselves out while scratching. In this funny incident, a bear trespassed onto someone's property at night and tried to snack on some chickens. It attempted to break into the chicken coop, but got startled by a strange voice and decided to run away as fast as possible. Turns out, the owner, Haley, woke up in the middle of the night and shouted at the bear from a window to scare it off. Now let's talk about hellhounds. These supernatural dogs are supposed to guard the gates of hell. Ancient Greece had stories about them, including one about a three-headed dog named Cerberus. Legend has it that if you look into its eyes 3 times or more, you'll drop dead on the spot. In this video from the TV show Mountain Monsters, they claim to have captured a real-life hellhound. The host interviewed a guy who said he caught the elusive creature on tape. The footage shows a black 4-legged beast. People all over the world are going crazy over it, wondering if this video is legit or not. You know those mythical creatures called centaurs? They're like humans with a horse's body. Well, check out this newborn goat from Argentina. It has a face that looks human. When the folks in the town saw it, they thought something magical must have been involved in its birth. Some say it's just a weird birth effect, but most people are calling it a real-life centaur. We've seen some bizarre animal videos on the internet, but nothing quite like this goat with a human-like face. In July 2008 in New York, 2 friends were out to take a walk along the shore, not knowing what was about to come next. Lying a few feet away was a dead creature that no one had ever seen before. It was the size of a small dog, a beak like a chicken, and a tail again like a dog. It was hairless but had small patches of hair on it. They posted the picture they took later on the internet, and everyone was left shocked with not even a single person giving a logical explanation. Have you ever seen a super buff goat? If you haven't, we're about to show you something awesome. So this guy was out hiking in the mountains, just enjoying nature and all that. And guess what he stumbled upon? This seriously ripped goat. He knew he had to capture it on his phone and share it with everyone. And guess what? The video went crazy viral on Twitter, racking up a whopping 4 million views. People couldn't help but be amazed by the goat's incredible physique. It's small like a squirrel, but its face is more like a monkey, you know? A farmer caught it on camera while wandering around the woods, but we're clueless about what it actually is. If any of you have any bright ideas, let us in on the secret, okay? It's a bit fuzzy and low res, but what it captures is absolutely unbelievable. Picture this: a creature with a head shaped like a hammer suddenly pops up on a camper's roof, screams its lungs out, and then vanishes into thin air. Some folks thought it resembled a dog, while others said a monkey, but honestly, it didn't look like any of those critters to us. So what the heck was it? Nobody knows. Unlike most of the videos in today's list, this one was recorded in a home where 3 guys were talking while lightly playing with a ball. And that is when a short black witch-like thing appeared out of nowhere and went past them in a hurry, which scared the boys quite a lot. When it was uploaded on the internet, some said it was definitely a witch, while others couldn't help but think it was a fake video. And this one is a very short video, but creepy nonetheless. While the little kid enjoyed her swing, we see a tiny creature running from somewhere behind her. Was it a dwarf, or a ghost, or something more mischievous and scary? I guess we will never know. A man was out driving at night to get to his home, and while he was halfway through, he saw something quite creepy. A woman dressed in fancy clothing was walking on the road. Since she was too far, we can't clearly make out of her dressing, but that's what the man said. Even though he stood there for a few minutes, the woman did not come near. She just kept walking in that area. What if you were in a cemetery visiting a loved one and you encountered a weird man who disappeared behind a pole? Well, that's exactly what happened to this man, and he approached the spot to see where the man had gone, but no one was there. So he hurried back home with 1,000 questions swirling in his mind and a great deal of fear in his heart. In a terrifying encounter in Alberta, Canada, a man captured a video that appears to unveil an enormous creature, potentially belonging to a tribe of colossal beings native to the region, leisurely walking atop of a mountain without any visible means of support. The shadowy figure is of such immense size that it was noticed by 2 individuals during their usual commute. A multitude of individuals are now filled with curiosity, questioning the validity of the legends surrounding giants in this area. Could it be that there's something far more sinister lurking within the mysterious Alberta mountains? This video was recorded in China and has caused controversy since then. Some say that the mermaid in the video is real, and there have been numerous sightings of mermaids in the area, while others refuse to believe it, saying it is nothing but fake. There have been no comments by the authorities, so we can't be sure. But what if it is real? This scary video was recorded in the woods where a little ghost dressed as a human was seen hopping around. But wait until it turns towards the camera, and that's when you see that the little ghost is a dog dressed as a little girl and was just annoying some peaceful moments in the woods. This video was uploaded a few years back on YouTube and scared the whole world. It shows what appears to be 2 girls in skirts, one holding the other one and smashing her here and there while walking on a wall. For me, it is the most terrifying clip out there. The woman was enjoying her peaceful sleep in her room when she heard weird noises. As she woke up, she saw this weird as hell goat coming into her room. But things weren't very scary until the goat opened its mouth. If it were me, I wouldn't know what I would have done. Seriously. Are mermaids actually not real? Or are these scientists and experts hiding things from us? Because there's a hell of a lot of proof out there that shows they might be real. Just like this video where a dead mermaid is being filmed by a man. Maybe it isn't like what we all have imagined, but it is the closest anything could get to a definition of a mermaid. This clip was recorded in 2018 and was posted on the internet with a caption saying, "Ghost caught on camera." However, if you look closely, it only looks like a kid trying to sneak into a home. And then there's another kid sitting there. And not just that, we see a ghost walking on the roof too. So what do you guys think? Isn't that creepy? In July 2022, something strange happened in a hospital. While we see people waiting in the lobby, a surgeon appears, scared as hell, and runs away, tripping here and there. The people there did not give it much importance until they see a wheelchair coming from the left, and then it turns towards them on its own. That's when they knew it wasn't something funny. It was a haunted hospital. While driving on the Queensland Highway, the driver had no idea something surprising was about to happen. As he kept driving, he noticed something strange on the side of the road. To his surprise, he and other people saw a ghostly figure standing right in the middle of the road. The ghost looked like a pure white child floating just a little bit above the ground. This spooky sighting became famous and many people started calling it the ghost child. However, some people who didn't believe in ghosts argued that it might not be real. Farmers in Puerto Rico were getting worried as their animals kept getting attacked by an unknown predator. Investigators tried to figure out what it was, but they couldn't find any clues. Initially, people thought it was a wolf, but the footprints didn't match. Some people claimed to have seen something like an ape and called it a chupacabra. It mostly targeted goats. The whole situation was scary and kept everyone on edge. And even though it happened a few years ago, the mystery remains unsolved. In South Africa, a strange creature has been spotted roaming around town. It looks like a mix of a man and a dog, and it lives and eats with other dogs. There are many rumors and fears surrounding it, but nobody has been able to get close and learn more. We only have blurry camera footage of it walking with its furry friends. The big question is whether it's just a man with mental issues or something more unusual. Let us know your thoughts. Imagine you're a farmer, excited to start your day and work in the field with your animals. But when you arrive, this is what you see. Not a pleasant sight, right? Well, that's exactly what happened to this farmer who encountered the world's largest bat in his field. It's so big that people refer to it as the flying fox. Now, let's watch this astonishing video from China where a fish was discovered that has a face resembling a human's. The video became extremely popular in November 2019, and people were completely startled. Some people believe it was a carp with a face that looked like a human's, but we can't be certain. Although the video is authentic, it's possible that the way the fish's scales appear on the camera's angle might have created that illusion. What do you think? We all adore dogs, right? But have you seen Stucky, the dog that got mummified? A farmer discovered this well-preserved dog while working in the forest and cutting down trees. Trapped inside a tree trunk, he was protected from predators, insects, and the weather. How did this occur, you may wonder? It's a mystery. Some theories propose that the dog might have become trapped and died while inside the oak tree. Whatever the reason, it's truly astonishing to witness how well nature can preserve things. Take a look at the picture of Stucky, and you'll understand why it's simultaneously eerie and magnificent. Get ready to be amazed by something incredible, straight from the farm. If you love horses and think they're the most gentle creatures, you might want to take a seat for this. In this video, we witness a horse doing something unexpected, devouring a family of chickens by eating one of the little chicks. The mother chicken tries her best to protect her offspring, but she's no match for the enormous horse. It's shocking to observe such behavior from a seemingly peaceful animal, but it serves as a reminder that animals can surprise us in various ways. Trail cameras mounted on trees recording animals is an old thing now. Spy cameras dressed and set as actual animals is the new thing now, and we see that in this video, which shows a spy gorilla camera in action. At first, the clan thought it to be weird and had to do a little inspection before they made the decision that the gorilla is no harm, so they'll let it stay. And that's when the camera recorded the beautiful moments of the gorilla family. Wolves are always considered to be the ferocious, the dangerous, the stay-away type animals. But these wolves, I don't want to stay away from them. Looking at the way they're all cuddling and kissing each other, don't they look like the most adorable beings right here? What do you guys think? The giant lizard that's basically a real-life dragon. These guys are massive. They're the largest living lizards in the world, and their venomous saliva is no joke. If they bite you, you could end up paralyzed or even dead. And let's not forget about those sharp claws and teeth. They're fierce predators that don't mess around. In fact, they've been known to attack and even kill humans who get too close. So if you ever find yourself in the presence of a Komodo dragon, just remember to keep your distance and give them the space they deserve. Otherwise, you might end up regretting it. If you ever find yourself face to face with a Nile crocodile in the wild, you better watch out. These big guys are not to be messed with. They are one of the largest crocodile species in the world and have a reputation for being quite aggressive. They've been known to attack humans and other animals without much warning. So it's best to keep your distance. Cone snail. This is a little guy that you might not expect to be dangerous. The cone snail. These colorful little snails might seem harmless, but don't let their size fool you. They pack a venomous punch that can cause paralysis and even death. I mean, talk about a small but mighty creature. So if you're ever strolling along the beach and come across a cone snail, be sure to admire it from a safe distance. After all, you never know what could be lurking beneath that pretty shell. These guys are some of the deadliest snakes on the planet, and they can grow up to a whopping 18 feet long. That's longer than most cars, people! And let's not forget about their venom. It's no joke. If they bite you, you could end up with respiratory failure and possibly even death. So if you ever come across a king cobra in the wild, just remember to give them the space they deserve and admire them from a safe distance. After all, it's better to be alive and well than up close and personal with one of these deadly snakes. This little dude may be small, but trust me, it's a ninja in disguise. Its venom is like a 1-2 punch that can knock you out and even kill you in just a matter of minutes. Those blue rings on its body may look cool, but they're actually a warning sign that says back off. If you see one of these guys while you're out swimming or diving, keep your distance and give it some space. But let's be real here. As dangerous as they may be, blue-ringed octopuses are still pretty fascinating creatures. Just don't let their small size fool you. They pack a deadly punch. The cassowary is usually known for its striking appearance, with its bright blue head and neck and a large bony protrusion on its head called a casque. However, these birds are also incredibly dangerous, with sharp claws on their feet that can cause serious injury or even death. Cassowaries are also known to be territorial and can become aggressive if they feel threatened. And when they do, get ready to run as fast as you can and as long as you can, because they will follow you as long as they can. Get ready to meet the Usain Bolt of the snake world, the black mamba. This slithery speedster is the fastest snake in the world, and with a name like Mamba, you know it's not something to mess with. So if you ever find yourself face to face with a black mamba, just remember to give them their space and back away slowly. Trust me, you don't want to challenge this sprinting serpent to a race. You know those pesky bugs that buzz around your ear and leave you itching and scratching all over? Yeah, those are mosquitoes, and don't let their small size fool you. These little bloodsuckers are responsible for more human deaths than any other animal on the planet. How, you ask? By transmitting deadly diseases like malaria, dengue fever, and Zika virus. Trust me, you don't want to mess with these tiny terrors. So next time you hear that high-pitched whine, grab the bug spray and protect yourself from the deadliest animal on Earth, the mosquito. If you thought getting a paper cut was painful, wait until you hear about the stonefish. This little fish may not look like much, but it packs a punch with its venomous spines that can cause excruciating pain, paralysis, and get this, the venom is so potent that victims have been known to beg for amputation just to stop the pain. So next time you're out snorkeling, be sure to watch where you step, or you might end up with a nasty surprise from the deadliest fish in the world, the stonefish. This 8-legged terror is a master of disguise, blending in with its surroundings and striking when you least expect it. Its venom is like a slow-acting time bomb, silently eating away at your flesh until it's too late to stop it. And don't be fooled by their size. These tiny terrors can bring down a full-grown adult with just one bite. So watch where you step and check your shoes before putting them on, because the brown recluse could be waiting to strike at any moment. Stay safe, my friends. You know what's scarier than a shark in a horror movie? A real-life great white shark! These bad boys can grow up to 20 feet long and have a bite force that can crush bones. And let's not forget about their famous razor-sharp teeth. One bite from these guys can be deadly. So the next time you're swimming in the ocean, remember to keep your eyes peeled for the great white shark, the ultimate predator of the sea. These pesky little creatures are found all over Australia, and their bite can be a real pain. Their venom is no joke. It can make you feel like your whole body's on fire. That's why it's important to keep an eye out for these sneaky spiders and make sure you're not their next victim. But here's the thing. As much as we may dislike them, redback spiders are actually pretty fascinating creatures. They're part of the widow spider family, and their females are notorious for eating their male counterparts after mating. Talk about a bad breakup. Check out the tiger shark, a big bad predator of the ocean. These bad boys have been known to attack humans and are one of the most dangerous sharks out there. With their razor-sharp teeth and incredible hunting abilities, they're a force to be reckoned with. If you see one in the water, it's best to give them plenty of space and let them do their thing. Africa's version of the Hulk. These big boys can weigh up to a whopping 2,000 pounds, making them one of the biggest and baddest creatures out there. And here's the thing, they're not afraid to throw down. They've been known to take on lions and even humans, and let me tell you, you don't want to mess with them. That's why they're also known as the Black Death. So if you ever find yourself face to face with one of these beasts, just remember to give them plenty of space and respect. This little dude might look like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie, but trust me, it's 100% real and 100% not to be messed with. Why? Because it's one of the only venomous lizards out there. That's right, this sneaky little guy packs a bite that can cause some serious pain and swelling. But here's where things get mysterious. Nobody really knows why it's venomous. Is it for hunting? Self-defense? Who knows? All we do know is that if you ever come across a Gila monster, it's best to give it some space. After all, you don't want to end up on the receiving end of a venomous bite from this cool but dangerous lizard. Did you know that the Sydney funnel-web spider is basically the Australian funnel-web spider's BFF? And let me tell you, their venom is no joke. It can knock you out faster than a kangaroo bouncing on a trampoline. Plus, if you get bitten by one of these creepy crawlies, you could end up with respiratory failure or even die. So make sure you steer clear of these 8-legged critters if you happen to come across them. Safety first, folks. The gentle giants that can turn into raging beasts. Now, I know we all love these intelligent and majestic creatures, but let's not forget they're also one of the biggest and most powerful animals on land. And when they feel threatened, they're not afraid to throw down. They've been known to attack and even kill humans who got too close to their turf. So if you're ever in the presence of an elephant, be sure to give them their space and show them the respect they deserve. Trust me, it's better to be safe than sorry when it comes to these big guys. If you're not a fan of snakes, then you better steer clear of the inland taipan, mate. This snake is not to be messed with, as it's considered the most venomous snake in the world. Its venom is so deadly that it can cause multiple organ failure and can kill a human in less than an hour. Talk about fierce. Despite its fearsome reputation, the inland taipan is actually a pretty fascinating creature. It has an incredible sense of smell and can detect prey from miles away. Plus, its venom is being studied for its potential to help treat certain medical conditions. Who knew this lethal creature could have a softer side? This image shows a huge predator of the world of water, with its weird horrifying mask and tentacles showing. We also see a boat nearby comparing, which we can see how big the size of the creature is. But well, no matter how creepy this may look, it's not real. Instead, it is an image created through Photoshop. Still, with the ocean being only 3% discovered, who knows? Maybe this actually might be real too. What do you guys think about it? This crocodile is like the Hulk of the animal kingdom. It's one tough customer. And let me tell you, if you ever find yourself in its neck of the woods, you better watch your back. This bad boy has been known to attack humans, so you don't want to mess with it. I mean, just imagine coming face to face with a creature that's built like a tank, has jaws that could crush a car, and is just itching for a fight. Yeah, I think I'll pass on that one. So if you're planning a trip to South America, make sure you steer clear of this feisty dude's territory. If you think you're the only one crushing hard on all those Korean oppas, well, you're wrong, because it isn't just us humans, but these beluga whales too who love Korean men. This beluga whale has such a big crush on her trainer that it refuses to kiss anyone else but him. And waits all day for just him to come to her and play with her. The other two males have to be separated from her because they like her so much that she finds them annoying. This guy was out in the wilderness filming a video, just minding his own business, when all of a sudden, he sees something bolting towards him like a bat out of hell. And guess what? It's a freaking mountain lion! Yeah, you heard me right. This guy is staring down a big, wild apex predator. But you know what's even crazier? He manages to narrowly escape like a boss. This dude had a seriously close call.
No, you taste, dude.
But he lives to tell the tale, and we're all glad he made it out in one piece. This little guy had his hands burnt in a forest fire and didn't know what to do. So he came to the humans for help. And lucky for him, this kind woman was there to lend a hand. It's incredible how calm and trusting the kangaroo is while the woman tends to his wounds. So this girl was snowboarding as usual, but then something unexpected happened to her. She was singing a song while getting on her board, and once ready, she started riding. Suddenly, she noticed a glimpse of a bear chasing her from behind, but she didn't fully comprehend what was going on. Thankfully, the girl was quick enough to escape the bear and unknowingly saved her life. This weird little thing was recorded deep underwater, transforming into different shapes. The researchers, the people on the internet, in fact, every single person who saw this was shocked to his core, wondering what this creature could have been and what other superpowers it might hold. Can this be an alien? I mean, I can't help but wonder, you know? An incredible video aired on an Indian news channel featuring the most mind-blowing thing ever. A leopard visited a cow every night, and they had their own secret friendship going on while the humans snoozed. Upon investigation, it was discovered that the cow had taken care of the leopard when it was a baby, and now the leopard was not ready to let go of its caregiver. How sweet is that? So these scientists saw a super weird fish and were totally confused. But then something crazy happened. The fish suddenly shrunk its mouth down really fast and everyone was shocked. It turns out that the fish is called a gulper eel, and it has a special kind of mouth that can puff up to eat big things. This fish is really interesting because of its cool mouth and the way it moves around. Overall, it's pretty amazing. The secrets hidden in the deep forest seems endless, and we never know what we might find. Recently, a trail camera in Vietnam caught a glimpse of a rare two-tone mouse deer that scientists thought had vanished 30 years ago. It was strolling around leisurely as if it owned the place. It's amazing that some of these unique animals have managed to escape hunters and predators, giving them a chance to flourish in their natural environment. Have you ever heard of flying snakes? Yeah, you heard that right. Flying snakes. A viral video making the rounds on the internet recently showed these slithering creatures taking to the skies. But don't worry, they're not flapping their wings or anything. They're actually gliding through the air. These incredible creatures, known as Chrysopelia, have the ability to contort their bodies and flatten their ribs to cover a significant distance after launching themselves into the air. It's an amazing feat that allows them to travel between trees with ease. Who knew snakes could fly? This pelican was recorded by a man trying to eat a capybara. I mean, we know and I know that he knows that the capybara is too big for him, but no, that won't stop him from doing that. And then he is just left all embarrassed because he did not succeed. Imagine you're out scuba diving and when you surface for air, you discover an octopus that won't let go of your back. In a recent video, a diver experienced this unexpected surprise and was trying everything he could to shake off the clingy cephalopod. Despite moving in different directions, the octopus wouldn't budge, and the diver started feeling uncomfortable with its sharp beak and sticky suckers. Perhaps the octopus just wanted a hug. What do you think? As the driver was cruising down the Queensland highway, little did he know that he was in for a surprise. As he continued driving, he spotted something unusual on the side of the road. To his shock, he and other onlookers saw a ghostly figure standing in the middle of the road. The ghost, which appeared to be a pure white child, was just a few inches above the ground. The eerie sighting quickly gained fame and was dubbed the Ghost Child by many. However, some skeptics argued that it might have been just a human baby who happened to wander in the middle of the road. Okay, so I've got a creepy story for you. A girl was taking a break near the harbor when out of nowhere, a sea lion popped up, grabbed her, and dragged her into the water. Her family and bystanders freaked out, but luckily, a brave dude jumped in and rescued her. It was a shocking incident because sea lions usually don't attack people without a reason. Well, that's all for today, guys. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for getting updates related to our latest videos.
Get up.
So, I know spotting an old man just walking anywhere does not sound spooky or anything, but spotting something which looks like an old man but with no head and carrying God knows what in his hand is one disturbing thing. To some it was a demon, while to others some kind of prank. But whatever it was, the man was not something you'd want to encounter in your life. Most of us just want to stay away from danger, but some curious minds, they just love diving deep into the mysteries. For instance, these two. While wandering in the forest, they came across an abandoned mine shaft. By the looks of it, it seemed like it's been centuries till the mine shaft has been used by anyone. So, well, unlike every normal human being, these two decided to go a little closer and check what was in there. And a second later, we knew the reason why the mine shaft was abandoned, as a weird creature with glowing eyes just pops out of nowhere. Just as spiders have been caught crawling on the trail cams, some other weird creatures have been caught flying here and there as well. For instance, take this one. This Ring camera was supposed to keep eyes on the intruders, but what it recorded left the house owners in shock. At first, what you see might look like a spider, but some tiny strange creatures keep flying around the camera. But what was it? Some fairies or something else? Do let us know what you guys think. When this man was trying to find something out of the ordinary in the woods, he came across exactly that. A weird, tiny creature with glowing eyes hiding deep under some abandoned well. And even though he was just looking for that kind of thing, the man did not stop for even a second to have a closer look at that thing. This video captures this super creepy guy lurking around in the woods. The person filming tries to have a chat with him and figure out what he's doing there.
How you doing? Oh.
But he doesn't say a single word. Instead, he just makes these spine-chilling noises that'll totally creep you out. After a moment, the man begins crawling out of the woods in the most bizarre manner, and that's when the person filming becomes spooked and decides to leave the area. So there's this video of these guys who went for a night walk in the woods. They had a flashlight, but it was still hella dark. As they were walking, they found this strange creature sitting on the ground with its back to them. At first, they figured it was some sort of animal, but when it turned its head around, they saw these creepy glowing eyes and a super creepy face. Some folks say it was a demon, while others reckon it was a fallen angel. Either way, it's some seriously spooky stuff. This video features a man who was intrigued by unusual sounds emanating from the sewer near his home. He'd heard similar noises before and had seen what he believed to be an extraterrestrial being. In a courageous attempt, he tried to communicate with the creature, but the outcome was anything but calm. While some speculate that it may have been the rake, the identity of the creature remains a mystery. Dark web is something we all know about, but not everyone can access. And trust me, the ones who did access it ended up regretting. Take this video for example. We see a creepy creature moving in the house, from hallway to the room and then to God knows where. And if you're thinking it was human, just look at the way it's walking. Does that look human to you? In July 2021, some people were on their way back to their home in India. According to them, it was somewhere around midnight when they came across this creepy figure walking along the road. Good thing they had a dash cam installed in their car, so we got this footage. And just look at the way it's walking. It seems like an alien to me. But do let us know what you guys think. A man in Australia was out for his routine walk when he came across this strange-looking worm-like thing. It's not the fact that it looks like a worm that makes it strange, but it's the length of the thing and the way it's divided into multiple segments is what makes it strangest of all. I've never seen any worm of such length before. This man heard some strange noises from the forest and decided to venture out there late at night to see if he could find something interesting. However, he came across a bizarre creature lurking behind a tree and making creepy whistle-like noises. When he spotted it, he sprinted away as fast as he could, and fortunately, he managed to escape without harm. The person who filmed the video was extremely surprised by the massive creature that he captured. However, the shocker was that the creature was nowhere to be seen when they returned the next day to film it again. This caused a frenzy online as people tried to decipher what it could be. Some speculated it might be a Nephilim or a Yeti, while others believed it could be a top-secret military project. You must have always heard about mermaids being a mythical creature, but this video will get you doubting that. A man in India saw something unusual swimming in the water and went to inspect it, and to his surprise, it was something which looked exactly like a mermaid, just a little smaller in size than we all must have expected. Perhaps it was a baby mermaid, or maybe just a little monkey drowning. With the video ending so abruptly, there's nothing we can say for sure. Now, sighting a Bigfoot here and there and from a very far away angle is one thing, but capturing a really big creature falling and tumbling down is just on another level. And this is exactly what this man was able to capture on his camera. Two big creatures, or perhaps yetis, were seen devouring an animal, and a second passes and we see one tumbling down the icy hill. Even though it was recorded in 2016, to this day, no logical explanation has been given by anyone. A crawling creature. This video literally has everyone spooking out as they see a weird glowing creature in the middle of nowhere at night crawling on the ground. Some call it the rake, while others think it's just some unknown animal. But the ones who happened to record it said it looked similar to a human, but was not a human at all. So then what was it? I guess we'll never know. Trail cameras usually capture animals chilling, hunting, and going along their normal life. But sometimes these cameras capture things out of the ordinary. For instance, this bear was just going along his way when he suddenly saw something he'd never seen before. His own reflection. And needless to say, we do not think he liked it a lot. Camera can be handy at times, but we need to be careful because sometimes trying to record dangerous things can lead to unfortunate circumstances. For instance, take the case of this man who tried to record a Bigfoot strolling along in the woods. Guess he was lucky or maybe hiding perfectly that the creature didn't notice him, or we wouldn't have been able to get this footage. A couple had been noticing weird noises in their backyard, but they'd never been able to know what was causing it, so they installed a camera there. It was all peaceful and quiet at first as nothing suspicious happened, but as some time passed, we saw a creepy head popping out of the fence. We see it once, then we see it twice. Was it just a dog, or was it something which had remained hidden from us since forever? This footage might not be as disturbing or creepy as many others in today's list, but this is unusual nonetheless. As we see this Florida man dancing along with the alligator, we can't help but rub our eyes twice to make sure this is real. And trust us, this is real. Florida sure is one strange place. This dude was filming and caught a freaky creature hiding in the shadows. It only showed itself when he stopped moving, and it had these creepy glowing eyes. But when he tried to get closer, the thing bolted back into the dark. Now we're left with more questions than answers, wondering what the heck that thing even was. Now, these little beings were found by a woman on her kitchen floor. And if you're thinking these are little mice, no, they are not. According to the experts, the legs of the creatures resembled moths, and there's a chance that the upper body might have been eaten by a cat, but the experts weren't so sure either. So we don't know what these tiny little beings were. Have you ever come across the buck who's the handsomest of all? The bad boy grazing the grass and winning all the ladies with his wig on? Well, now you have. This buck was recorded in 2013 and caught the attention of everyone with his stylish wig. It was at first part of his antlers, but then slowly moved on top of his head, making him the most stunning buck ever. Did you check out that weird video of a goat standing still and staring straight ahead? It's been all over the web and everyone's losing it. Some peeps reckon it might be the mythical skinwalker, while others are calling BS. We ain't got a clue who shot it, so it's all up to our own imaginations.
Hello. She wants to come in.
Damn, one thing's for certain. It's super creepy. Footage was uploaded by some unknown guy in 2017, and it had everyone in shock who happened to watch it. At first, we see the quiet of a cemetery, but then as the camera rolls on, we catch a glimpse of a bizarre humanoid figure half hiding behind a grave. If we zoom into it, we see a weird being with a huge head and arms. It fits so accurately to what we have in mind for an alien, don't you think? This might be too short of a clip, but a mere second is enough to feel the spookiness of the video. We see a creepy figure emerging from the dark and running straight towards the man holding the camera. And then we see the man running as fast as he can for his life. I'm not going near any tunnels from now on. A kid was out in the woods when he started hearing some weird noises, and that's when he decided to take his phone out and film it while trying to see what was causing it. And to his surprise, it wasn't just him who was looking for the creature. The creature was also looking for him, and that we get to know when he comes out of the woods and starts running towards the kid. Back in 2013, there was this video that spread like wildfire online. It showed a lone girl dressed in white walking around a cemetery while some men recorded her. The video lasted about 4 minutes, and the girl was shown wandering around the graveyard, stopping by different graves. Who was she? Did she happen to be a ghost? These and countless other questions were thrown around, but no one had any answers to offer. In this video, we see a courageous person exploring an empty house using only a flashlight. While exploring, the person begins to feel uneasy, and then a frightening creature appears from the darkness, moving towards them and making terrifying sounds. The person quickly runs away from the house, clearly scared by the unknown creature. Although we don't know what the creature was, it's obvious that the abandoned house is not a suitable place for those who are easily frightened. At first, we see a deer, all panicking, running from here to there and eventually running away from the man. And in a second emerges another deer unlike any other, with its neck all folded. And then it runs away too, as fast as it could. All this happens in a few seconds, and the man there is like, what just happened? Even though it was just 2 deer, that does not make the video any less creepy. In May 2019, a woman found a weird body laying in her yard in Florida. She immediately called the authorities to come and see what it was, and needless to say, they were all just as perplexed as she was. According to some, it was a big lizard. But what exactly caused the big lizard to dry up like that? Not even the bones were there. It's not just forests and jungles that hide secrets beyond our imagination. Sometimes it's the ice, too. For instance, this man who ended up finding a Bigfoot all frozen up under the ice.
I can see its eyes and it's his head.
Maybe it got trapped inside by the cruel nature, or maybe it was just a hoax. Which, even if it was, I'll be scared as hell still. This footage was filmed when a team of workers were told by some locals that they think there's a snake in their ceiling. None of them knew that it wasn't just a snake on that ceiling, but 2 massive snakes living up there. As the ceiling dropped, the snakes almost dropped with it too, leaving everyone near them to jump back in horror. It happened in Malaysia, and since this video was uploaded, everyone there has been checking their ceilings twice every night. Now, was it just a tiny spider looking so big due to being close to the trail cam? Or was it a really massive spider lurking in the depths of the woods? It's up to you what you think, but if you ask me, I'm never going into those woods with such long-legged creatures crawling everywhere. Are dwarves real, or are they just works of fantasy? I guess you'll be shocked to know that there's a chance that these creatures might be real. I mean, look at this video and the small things in the jungle. Don't they look very similar to what a dwarf would be like? I don't know if any of you might have guessed it, but this one is also from Florida. She wanted to check the outside bathroom, which was along the pool, and it seemed all fine until she went up close to the sink and found this thing hiding inside. But the question here is, what was it? A snake? A lizard? A gecko? And because it's Florida, we can't really say anything for sure. Imagine you're out with friends on a drive late at night and you encounter this in the way. Well, this is what happened to these guys who were just having fun when not just one but two pairs of creepy glowing eyes started staring at them. Even though the creatures were far and the guys were in the car, that was not enough to make them any less scared. Once a man was in the forest gathering some logs when he stumbled upon something peculiar. We're not exactly sure what was going through his mind, but he ended up picking up this eerie doll and taking it back to his home. To make matters even more bizarre, he even decided to record the doll while it was doing who knows what. If it were me, I wouldn't even dream of doing something like that. Not even in a million years. If you think giant mutated spiders are only in the sci-fi movies, you think wrong, and this video will show you how. People in Ragasnika were shocked when one morning they saw this giant spider crawling across this hill. Luckily, it was far away from the population, so no one got harmed. But the most mysterious part is that the spider just vanished in a few minutes. Where did it go? No one knows. Okay, so what comes into your mind when you first see it? Me, being dumb, thought it was the grass walking, but it turns out to be some kind of insect, a very tiny one. Though the man who uploaded it didn't happen to have any kind of information about it, and the thing was just as unusual to him as it is to all of us. But let us know if you guys have any info on this one. This hairless creature was discovered by a group of plantation workers. It had small ears, no tail, and a bald, brownish-gray body with sharp claws. The workers were frightened by its odd appearance and believed it was a supernatural entity coming to haunt them. They attacked the creature, but afterward, specialists in nature explained that it was an uncommon Malayan sun bear. The workers were rebuked for their harsh behavior, and the bear was relocated to its natural habitat in the woods. As the videographer was recording a moose by the side of the road in Gaspésie, Quebec, Canada, they noticed an oddity in the footage. Although the moose was initially the only thing in view, the viewer became curious about a strange figure on the back left of the video. The clip gained a lot of attention online, and many people made guesses about what the enigmatic figure could be, ranging from supernatural beings to extraterrestrial life forms. The question of what could be hiding in the Quebec wilderness remains unanswered, causing people to wonder. This image is taken from two videos, one which shows a ghost attempting to hide from something, and to do that he jumps into the water. This whole thing was recorded on a trail cam set nearby to look for animals. The next clip shows an alien-like figure peeking from behind the tree. If it wasn't for the glowing eyes, the figure might have gone unnoticed and considered to be just part of the tree. In the video, a group of individuals is seen walking at night with torches and sticks while leading some goats. Everything seems ordinary until you spot a white goat with an unusual object hanging from its neck. The men appear frightened by the object, which stays attached to the goat even when they attempt to take it off. Eventually, it resembles a strange shadow on the ground, swiftly heading towards the forest and vanishing. To me, it appears quite disturbing. What are your thoughts on what it might be? This video was captured by a brave soul who thought it would be a really great idea to go out alone into the deep woods at night. He thought he'd end up meeting some unusual beings and, well, guess what? He got exactly what he was expecting. A creepy little cryptid staring right at him from behind the tree. Was it just waiting for the right moment to attack, or was it too scared to come out? The mystery has been unsolved since forever. Considering the last clip, if you think the woods are only creepy and unsafe at night, let us tell you how wrong you are, and this video will prove it to you. These trees were recorded moving. Like literally moving from one place to another. Was it the neighborhood that annoyed them, or they felt unsafe due to humans? We could never know since trees don't talk. Now this one might be just an image taken by a trail cam and not a whole video, but this single image is enough for us to get an idea about how eerie and unbelievable life in the woods can be. Was it an alien or just an animal from an unusual angle? We can't say for sure, but you let us know if you have any ideas. If you think it's just another usual trail cam video which shows gorillas sitting here and there and busy with their normal routine, that's not the case. These aren't just any gorillas. These are the Cross River gorillas, and sadly they're endangered with only 200 individuals left to survive. In fact, these are the rarest gorillas on the whole planet. And this trail cam happened to capture these majestic creatures living their lives in Cameroon. You must be thinking it's too dark and too blurry to actually determine that's a Bigfoot going about in the woods, but the size of the creature and what we can make out from the darkness, I don't see any chance of it being some other animal other than Bigfoot. I mean, we can see it walking on 2 feet and it being all dark and hairy, and its size as compared to the trees is pretty huge. Ask me and I'd say it's a Bigfoot for sure. This man had heard that mysterious creatures lurk in the desert, especially at night. So he did what anyone would do, set up a camera and waited for the night to pass so he could go check if it captured anything unusual. And to his surprise, it actually did. What was it? A death worm? An alien? A monster? We'll give you a moment to take a guess. But when he inspected it all, it turned out it was just a buffalo. But scary nonetheless. Don't worry, man, we were just as confused as you were. In June 2022, a man's security camera happened to click a photo which had the whole world in shock. Even the mainstream media couldn't help but feature it. They called it the Wolfman. Nobody had any idea if that was someone playing a prank or was it really a Wolfman. At first, the residents of the area thought it was just a coyote responsible for the missing animals and spreading fear everywhere, so they set up cameras everywhere in hopes of catching the animal in the act. However, what the camera ended up recording was something that blew their minds. A huge creature was seen lurking in the woods. And what else could it be except for the famous Sasquatch, right? It was never caught, but was never seen ever again either. Maybe it's since that humans have come about it. What do we call a person gliding through the streets? Not walking like normal human beings, but moving in some otherworldly form? We call it a ghost, and a ghost is what this CCTV camera ended up recording. Now, don't ask me whose ghost it was, because I don't know about that, but it does seem like in a hurry. Maybe he was going on his daily haunting duty. What do you say? A crooked, glowing creature moving in the weirdest way possible in the street. If I ever see something like that, I'm going to leave the country for good. I don't know how these people get the courage to actually stand there and record such stuff. And, well, as soon as this video hit the internet, it had everyone in shock. Questions arising from everywhere about the authenticity of the clip and the identity of the creature, but the questions had been unanswered ever since. How fast is a mountain lion, and how sneaky is it? If you find yourself wondering such questions, then we're here to give you answers. As this mountain lion sneaked up on the deer, and the deer was all clamped in its claws in a matter of mere seconds, and good thing this was all captured on a trail cam installed somewhere in California, and if you notice, the leap is right on the neck, fast and on target. Amazing. When one cougar minded its own business, the other one was in a mood of letting the man know how dangerous he can be. So he ran as fast as he could towards the man and stopped just a few inches away. And he did it for 6 minutes straight. Might be the longest 6 minutes of that man's life. And about the man, I would say he did a great job at staying calm and not taking off running as most people would have done, and he never turned away from the cougar. And that's what saved his life. Recently, a trail camera recorded an intense brawl between 2 male bears. It all started when one of the bears let out a bone-chilling snarl, warning the other bear to back off. Things quickly escalated from there, with the bears wrestling and biting each other in a wild frenzy. The fight lasted for a few minutes before they eventually went their separate ways. It was a crazy scene that happened deep in the heart of the woods. A creepy trail cam pic caused a stir online because a little girl was seen in the middle of nowhere with no humans around. People wondered how she got there or if she was a ghost, But it turns out she was just with her grandpa and the pic was taken in the woods. No need to be scared, she's a real human. This picture was captured by a trail camera in the dead of night. We haven't been able to investigate it further, but it appears to be a rake lurking in the darkness of the woods. We're keeping our eyes peeled for any updates, but for now, all we have is this eerie image, and people are saying it's real. It isn't always the animals or the mysterious beings that lurk in the woods. Sometimes it's humpback whales also, found laying all deep in the woods. And how exactly the whale ended up there, so far away from the ocean? Well, that's been a mystery ever since. When a man went out to check his trail cam and what it captured this time, he was stunned to see the picture the camera had taken. To some, it appeared like two glowing eyes, and to others, it was a UFO. Since it was just a picture, we can't say if it was fake or just something which looks eerie. Crocodiles are super deadly creatures. They don't care about anyone or anything, not even if you're just trying to record them with a camera. They can sneak up on you real slow, and before you know it, you're stuck in their powerful jaws with no escape. These fierce felines hunt and chow down on all sorts of critters, but one time one of them got snapped by a camera while running into a rattlesnake on its way somewhere. It made sure to take out the snake before resuming its original plans, but man, it really had to work hard to take down that snake. It used its sharp claws and teeth to crush and bite the snake's head in an epic battle. At first, the coyote could be seen running away from the camera's range of vision, and shortly after, the mountain lion appeared and chased after the coyote. And after a few seconds, we could hear the coyote screaming for help, indicating that the mountain lion had caught it. That's how fast these deadly lions are. Have you ever seen videos of people fighting that go viral online? It happens quite a bit, right? But it's actually pretty rare to come across videos of kangaroos fighting. Well, I recently saw one on trail camera footage. These two kangaroos were squabbling and it was pretty interesting to watch. The fight started when they grabbed each other by the neck and tried to knock each other over. But in the end, they both walked away peacefully. Pretty cool, huh? A home security camera in Texas ended up recording a girl dressed in all white walking through the backyard. When the family saw it, they were all perplexed as the girl was not someone they knew or had ever seen. But then, who was it? A ghost? Or just someone pulling a prank? Humans have a natural curiosity that drives them to investigate anything unusual. But in this particular case, a man took his curiosity to the extreme. He heard strange sounds coming from the woods and decided to explore it late at night to see if he could find anything interesting. To his surprise, he stumbled upon a strange creature behind a tree, making weird whistle-like sounds.
What the hell is that? What the hell?
Realizing the danger, he quickly ran away as fast as he could without looking to see if the creature was following him. It seems his curiosity got the best of him in this scary encounter. The Amazon rainforest is a place where you can find unique and unusual creatures. People often put trail cameras there to capture these animals. Recently, a rare Amazonian short-eared dog was spotted on one of these cameras. The species was thought to be almost extinct for a while, and researchers were losing hope of finding any. However, this video gave them new hope. The dog was just sniffing around in the forest like any other day. Teams have been sent to locate the dog so that it can be kept safe in a preserve and live longer. When these pictures went viral online, they really got people talking. They show a little cat sitting on top of some big animals, which surprised a lot of folks. Nobody could believe how chill the cat was about it. Some people even made jokes about the cat being the boss of all the other animals. But then some experts gave their 2 cents and said that the cat, which is called a genet, was likely using the other animals as a lookout point to find prey. That's pretty clever if you ask me. There was a guy in Brazil who saw something strange on a rooftop while he was doing his own thing and decided to record it. What he captured was a weird creature that looked like a huge ant hanging out on the roof. Some people thought it was extraterrestrial, but to me it looks like a really big ant. Brazil has all sorts of creepy crawlies, so who knows what else is out there, right? The freakiest part is that the creature vanishes right after the guy spots it. What was it doing up there? We may never find out. Have you ever seen those spooky creatures people call night crawlers or soul walkers? They can give you the creeps, but they're also strangely calming. There's this video from California back in 2011 that shows two stick-like figures walking through the woods. They almost look like a family of ghosts, with one resembling a little baby ghost and the other maybe a ghost mom or dad. It's a peaceful and serene scene, and I hope they were able to keep wandering about undisturbed. Trail cameras are used to take pictures of animals in the wild, but sometimes they capture something really creepy. Like this one time, a man in a clown mask was caught on camera in the forest at night. We don't know what he was doing there, or if he was even a real person. The spooky clown stared right at the camera before vanishing into the woods, giving everyone the creeps. Who knows what other scary stuff is out there lurking in the shadows? The deep, dark woods conceal secrets and elusive creatures that have managed to evade human detection. Despite our assumptions that certain species have gone extinct, they persist in their natural habitats, hidden from our eyes. However, a trail camera recently captured a remarkable sighting in Vietnam, a two-tone mouse deer that scientists believed had been extinct for 30 years. The footage astonished the world as it revealed a healthy and lively creature meandering through the woods. So there was a video that captured an elk on a trail cam wearing a tire like a necklace. Crazy, right? This poor elk had the tire around his neck for 2 years while going about his daily life. As time passed, his neck and antlers grew bigger, which made it impossible for him to remove the tire by himself. Luckily, wildlife officials came to the rescue. They gave the elk some medicine to make him sleep and attempted to remove the tire. Sadly, they had to remove his antlers too. But don't worry, the elk will grow a new pair of antlers in due time. The Wildlife Channel put cameras in the jungle to see the animals there. They were hoping to film them doing normal things, but what the cameras showed was surprising. The bears they caught on camera were dancing and moving their bodies like Shakira. It's pretty amazing that bears can dance like that, but did you know that bears also get itchy? And instead of scratching themselves with their paws like we do, they use trees. And look at them go. They're really enjoying themselves, aren't they? When you go camping, unexpected guests might drop by, like mosquitoes and other bugs if you're lucky. But if you're not, like the guy in this video, a big male lion and 2 lionesses might pay you a visit. The man was sleeping soundly in his tent when all of a sudden this happened. Luckily, he stayed put and didn't try to run away. The lion seemed more curious than anything and didn't harm him. Despite the scare, the camper had an unforgettable night. So there's this really weird thing that a camera caught in the forest. It looked like the earth was moving up and down, almost like it was taking a break from spinning and going around the sun. People call it the breathing earth because it's like the ground is breathing. This happens when the wind is strong and the ground is loose. It can be pretty scary if you don't know what's going on. You might think the earth is going to swallow you up. It's definitely one of the craziest things ever caught on trail camera. Someone caught a really creepy video and posted it online. It shows a creature that looks like a spider or maybe a crab, and it scared a lot of people. At first, I thought it was just a dog dressed up in a spider suit. But when I took a closer look, I realized it definitely wasn't a dog. The only dog in the video looked totally freaked out by the weird bent-legged things too. So we're all pretty confused about what it could be. So there was this male deer in Ottawa, Canada that got caught on camera losing its antlers. It might seem strange to us, but it's actually a regular thing for male deer to lose their antlers in winter to make way for new ones. The shedding process usually happens from late winter to early spring. It was funny to see that the deer in the video seemed surprised by what was happening and ran away looking confused. It's really hard to figure out what those lights in the sky are. Some people think they might be aliens, but others think it's just a bug in front of the camera. Do you think this means aliens are visiting us, or maybe they're here but we don't even know it? Also, what about those strange flying objects we sometimes see? The government just released a report on them, but there's still not enough evidence to know for sure what they are. We know how birds travel from one place to another in flocks, all flying together to search for new places to live and feed, right? But this murmuration of a massive flock of birds was just something else. Even the researchers said they'd never seen such a kind of behavior in birds before, and that it might be alarming as well. Do you doubt the existence of Bigfoot and other creatures like that? Well, check this out. There's some drone footage that might make you think twice. In the video, you can see some enormous trees shaking like crazy as if a giant monster is trying to pull them out of the ground. And we're not talking about puny trees. These ones are huge and super tall. No way could a person or machine do something like that. So do you still believe that Bigfoots are just made-up stories? And this video was captured on a trail cam, and it's just too cute to miss. You can see a mother fox and her 4 cubs all playing around and annoying their mom a bit, but she doesn't seem to mind at all. What's even more amazing is that the family seems completely oblivious to the fact that they're being recorded. This picture shows a Bigfoot walking through the woods. It was taken by a trail cam installed in the Charleston area, but when they went to investigate it, it turned out to just be a cutout of a cardboard, which was all part of a prank pulled by someone. Believe it or not, this bear from Boulder, Colorado has become the new selfie champ. The story goes that this curious creature found a camera with a motion sensor and decided to go wild with it. The outcome? More than 400 snapshots of the bear posing in all kinds of ways, giving his best sultry gaze and even making some goofy faces. This bear wasn't going to quit until it got every picture just right for social media. A man happened to capture this slimy thing when it was on his way somewhere, and since it wasn't like anything he'd seen before, he decided to capture it on camera. It doesn't appear to have any eyes, but a head-like thing which moves a little bit. It looks something like what a blob would look like. So is it some new species? And if it is, then I'd rather stay away from this slimy thing. Ever wondered how large anacondas are? What's the maximum limit they can go to? Well, they can easily go to 30 feet, and this anaconda right here can give you an idea of how dangerous these beings can be. The tree can't even hold its weight, and it comes down as this snake tries slithering its way up on it. Watching this, I'm really glad Titanoboas are long gone, or God knows what might have happened. Maybe it really was a rake, or maybe just a gorilla with glowing eyes. Though the chances of it being the latter are pretty low because there aren't many gorillas whose eyes glow like that in pitch dark. So what does that mean? Was it really a rake? And if so, then where did it go after staring at the camera? Are they hiding it in the deep dark regions? Or do you think it's all fake? When 2 guys were out in the woods filming and doing their thing, they heard weird noises coming from somewhere nearby. And they thought it'd be better to go and check the area out. Not knowing what was coming, they went there, and then this happened. A weird whitish creature came running towards them, freaking them out. The video ends abruptly, so we're not sure what happened to them. If you think you're safe from the weird beings if you're at your home, then you're wrong. They follow you everywhere you go. For instance, take a look at this clip. This man thought he lived alone until a kid appeared from behind the TV, peeking from behind. The man had to go check, and that's when things got weird, because the kid completely vanishes when the man reaches there. And this bended-like-a-dog creature was caught on camera running away from something, and this is the point where I wonder, was it scared of something? Or did it do something and was trying to run and not get caught? Even after millions of views on the internet, no one was able to tell exactly what that was. Let's say the day's pretty stormy outside and you still think that you need to go outside to see how bad the weather is. And when you do, this is what you see? What will you do? Obviously go back into the house as soon as possible, right? Unlike this man who thought he should take his camera out and record it all. A brave soul, I must say, or maybe it's fake. What do you think? Just the head out of the water, standing straight, not even moving an inch, and water dripping from its mouth. This is a creature which was caught on camera somewhere in China. As soon as the video hit the internet, people started claiming it was a sea dragon. But the question is it really? Or is it just a fountain more than half inside the water? Let us know if you know anything about it. Long gone are the days when black cats were considered signs of bad luck or other things, but there are times when I find myself wondering, what if those people were right? And you'll agree with me when you see this black cat with glowing eyes staring straight towards the man. She refuses to clear the path for the man, which of course scares the hell out of him, and not only that, she also attacks and hisses at the man. What remains unexplained is what caused this cat to show such weird behavior. Insects are creepy, and there's no denying that, but what if I tell you that these creatures are starting to get even creepier? Look at this one, for instance. When people saw it for the first time, they weren't just weirded out, but also confused, not knowing what kind of insect it was. But let me tell you, it's called Creatonitos gangus, and it's a kind of moth, usually called the monster moth, created by Satan himself. While exploring the park, a man stumbled upon a squishy mass in the pond that bore a striking resemblance to a brain wiggling around in the water. Fortunately, it wasn't a human brain as he initially feared. Nevertheless, its peculiar nature was just as bewildering as a real brain would have been. It turned out to be a collection of minuscule creatures rarely seen before. People who've encountered this unusual formation have given it interesting monikers such as Blob Monster and Dragon Booger. A security guard whose duty, unfortunately, was of night, and he had to guard the building all night long. For some days, he was hearing weird noises, like someone slamming the door, but he didn't pay much attention to it. But one day, it was getting a little too much, so gathered all the courage and went to check who exactly is there. While he couldn't see anyone, his camera captured a ghostly shadow on it. But was the ghost behind all those noises, or was there something more scary hidden? No one could even answer that. A Facebook picture circulated in 2014 had a lot of people up there worried. The post was shared thousands of times within a few hours and had a lot of people uttering the word skinwalker, a well-known legend in Indian country. The picture shows an unexplained being lurking on the side of a road. In April 2023, people saw a mysterious creature swimming in the water. It was in a park where most of them went jogging in the morning, so a lot of witnesses were there. The creature looked like it was stuck in the water but refused to come out, so no one could really tell what it was except that it was unusual and nothing like they'd ever seen before. To some, it looked like a serpent, but nothing was ever confirmed. When the video was uploaded, no one could tell what it was. A caterpillar? Or maybe some other insect? But it didn't look like anyone had seen before. Well, I did my research, and it came out to be a thing called a case-bearing clothes moth. And this thing is just as weird as its name. They're named due to the silken case the larva weaves to protect itself while it's eating your carpet, and, well, I too would be weirded out if I ever saw one. I don't know what the man was doing on that raft and going exactly where, but when he turned the camera towards the thing he thought was following him, it definitely gave me creeps. If something like that was following me, I don't know how I'd remain so calm and record it all. But, well, he did, and after watching the clip, many suspected it to be a mermaid or something similar. Even though nothing was confirmed, there's still a slight chance that it might be. You must have watched Courage the Cowardly Dog. Well, let's just say life might just be the same for some people. For instance, this young man who recorded the clip of this weird creature lurking somewhere on Earth. Now, I don't know what place that is, and I don't want to know either. Just look at the size. Who would be so calm recording it and not running for their life? Unless it's fake. When a man was looking outside his window, he saw something very weird. There was a man sitting in front if he looked through the glass. But when he saw not from the window glass, there was nobody. How exactly is that possible? Unless it's a vampire or something. But was it? What do you guys think? A few years back, some workers were assigned the work to go to the backside of the factory and check why one of the drainage pipes was blocked, since it was causing a lot of problems. So they went with their phone cameras rolling to get video evidence of whatever problem they faced. But they ended up capturing something they weren't expecting at all. A white figure peeked from inside the pipe, leaving them shocked. This pig comes from China, and it looks very different from other pigs. Its face is shaped in a way that some people find scary, and it has a nose that looks strange, like a person's nose or something that boys have. Because of its unusual face shape, it has trouble breathing, and its tongue sticks out of its mouth in a funny way. When it opens its mouth wide, it looks like it's screaming, but no sound comes out. It seems like nature didn't protect this little piglet enough. Encountering a Bigfoot from a distance is one thing, but witnessing the spectacle of a colossal creature stumbling and tumbling takes it to a whole new level, and that's precisely what this individual managed to capture on camera. Two immense beings, possibly Yetis, were observed devouring an animal, and within seconds, one of them lost balance and rolled down the icy slope. Despite being recorded in 2016, no one has been able to provide a reasonable explanation to this day. While most individuals tend to avoid perilous situations, there are those inquisitive souls who relish delving deep into the enigmatic realms. Take, for instance, this duo who, during their forest expedition, stumbled upon an abandoned mine shaft. Judging by its appearance, it seemed as though centuries had passed since anyone had set foot inside. Contrary to the instincts of regular folks, these two individuals decided to approach the mine shaft and investigate its contents. However, within seconds, they discovered why the mine shaft had been forsaken. An unusual creature with luminous eyes suddenly materialized out of thin air. Some men were driving their way home late at night when they saw something weird nearby, so they stopped their car and decided to film it on their camera. And when you see this, you'll be just freaked out as it shows a creepy creature looking towards the men from behind something. Some claimed it was the rake, while others said it was just someone in a costume, but nothing was for sure. This cat was doing the usual cat stuff, and the owner of the cat was recording herself being herself, just like most cat people out there do. But then something weird happened. A creepy hand came from under the drawer and tried grabbing the cat. People were quick to suspect it was a demon living under there. What do you think about it? When people started hearing weird noises coming from the sewers, they informed the authorities. However, even after investigating, there was nothing to be found, so they set a camera under there. And this is what the camera recorded: a pair of glowing eyes. Like the creatures came to inspect and quickly ran away after seeing the camera. Pretty scary, don't you think? Where trail cameras usually take pictures of animals when they're doing their normal things like resting, looking for food, and doing their daily tasks, sometimes these cameras capture really strange and funny moments too. Like this bear who was just doing its bear things when suddenly it saw something really strange in front of it. It was its own reflection. Can you imagine? The bear was really surprised and didn't like it at all. It didn't expect to see itself like that, and it got upset, or at least it seemed like it did. This CCTV camera was only mounted to ensure the safety of the vehicles and all, but it ended up recording a weird creature who crawled up to a poster on the wall and then continued to scratch it to pieces before moving away and out of the camera's reach. And even if we look at it closely, it looks nothing like a human wearing any costume. This Eagle Cam captures amazing footage off the coast of Southern California, specifically the west end of Catalina Island. We see a bald eagle in its cliffside nest about to settle for the night. A sly fox approaches hoping for free eggs, but Mama Eagle intimidates it. She calls for her mate who quickly responds. The fox posed no threat to the eagle, but was after the eggs. This video reveals the dangers of lurking in the wild and for the animals at night, as some predators prefer coming out when others are asleep. In January 2021, a clip went viral which showed a weird hairless creature crawling up to things in the jungle. As much as it creeped people out, it also alerted the authorities who began the search for it. And after months and months of search, they actually did find it. Though the bear was in pretty rough condition, he was scared and weak and had to be kept in a cage before he was transferred to somewhere safe and where he can be taken care of. People have been claiming the man here might be Jesus, but is it really? Or was it just some fake edited video? But just for a minute, if we consider it to be real, then wouldn't it be the weirdest clip out there? How did the man vanish into this strong flow of water? Did he survive? And if so, how? So many questions, and just one short clip as an answer is what we have. Now, as compared to all other videos in this list, this one might be the scariest of all. It was uploaded on YouTube in 2020 and freaked everyone out. Some said it was a weird being who lives in the sewers near their home, and others said it was a blob like a human mutant, but it later turned out that it was a man pranking his own friend. Look at the couple all happy, in love with each other. The clip seems so lovey-dovey. If you don't pay attention to what's happening in the background, let us slow it down a bit so you can have a closer look at the demon standing right behind them and then disappearing just a second after. The demons and the ghosts might only come out at night, but the witches can do it any time they want. For instance, this one time when a man caught a woman dressed in white on his camera. She was standing behind the dumpsters, her hair all messy and on her face. Ask me, and she looked like she just came from a horror movie set. Or maybe she actually did. When this clip went viral, it scared the hell out of everyone who watched it. The massive gorilla-like figure was seen in it, but it was no gorilla, and that everyone could tell for sure. But then, what was it? That's the question no one has been able to answer. Bear catches trail cam. Trail cam catching animals doing their usual stuff is old. Animals catching trail cam recording them is new these days. Take this bear for instance. He was going on his way when suddenly he turned towards the camera, giving it a look like acknowledging the fact that the camera is there. It was a stormy day when this guy decided to go on a drive, and he never expected what he was going to see on his way. It was a massive bat, the largest anyone has ever seen. Or was it even a bat? It could be an alien too. You let us know what you guys think. In this intriguing video, we see a cat relaxing under